All right. The ultimate session, because you know how some people say it's the penultimate? This is the ultimate session of Land of the Furry. The characters are currently in a Texan bar, um, meeting up with a friend of Tex's, ostensibly a friend. She's pretty angry. Also, in my notes, I didn't write her name, so I don't remember her name either. Do you remember what it was?
Sally something?
Sally. You're in Sally's bar.
Was it not Mustang Sally?
Oh yeah, Mustang Sally. Yeah, I don't think that was real.
I feel like it was Sally, and then we just added some artificially cyberpunk last name.
Yeah, yeah. And then I made the joke that it was Mustang Sally in the chat, and now it's that forever. So yeah, that's how it happens. Cool. All right, so you're in the bar, Sportsville, Texas, where you like went off-roading in your vehicles that you stole, in your Thunder Gods and your Shivas happening. And I believe each of you had to like double up or something because you didn't make out with all of them, something like that. And Sally had like, I think, struck like a knife in the table, right? And was like, Tex, what the fuck are you doing here right now? And then that's where we ended, right? So I think she gives you like the long stare and the hard eyes and stuff, but then it like cracks and she like kisses like, get over here, right? As they do in the movies. And then she kind of like glances around the bar. It's one of those moments in the anime where everybody stops in the pool hall and watching TV and stuff, and they look at you, and then it resumes again once she's okay, right? And once she resumes, she like takes you up to a sort of VIP area, which is just like this secondary landing of like a Tex-Mex hall, right? Everyone's preparing to watch. I don't think we had said what they're watching, but they're watching something on the outside projector thing in the evening, and they're doing like a cook up, and it's a merry old time, right? And so when you get up there, though, she turns on like the back wall TV, basically, right? Like the whole wall is a TV, and she just like clicks a button or whatever, and it goes to the news station where it's saying that there's the 1 million EB out for y'all, and Adriana is actually they have a statement here, so let's see. There's various stations that are talking about they're being douchey as usual in the States, and the Supreme Court is holding emergency meetings to disclaim and adjudicate what Adriana's rights are, or lack thereof, perhaps. They need to figure out what a clone's rights might be. And in the meantime, Biotechnica lawyers has successfully lobbied for the corporation's right to treat her as property. That means she can legally be killed. Things just got much hotter. That's what it says. The actual statement on TV, though, the company said that Adriana escaped from a Biotechnica motorcade several days ago, apparently with the help of members of a militant fringe group bent on using her abilities for criminal, possibly terrorist activities. Adriana was last reported to be somewhere in the southern United States. Persons with information on Adriana's whereabouts are asked to contact any office of the Biotechnica Corporation with a reward pending. Boom! You guys are in the hot seat. So, yeah, she's the first clone. This scenario is like very much Blade Runner, right? Where they're like, are androids people and stuff, though, right? It's kind of an old question that I think we've explored and answered, but you know, this is 94 or something like that with a 91 system. So for them, it's kind of like, blah. So, cool. So not they're not androids, but they're like, well, they're trying to figure out if they are still people or not, because it's the United States and they're confused about those types of things, I guess. She is a cloned person of her sister who died, right? But she also has a mechanical mind, a hybridized mind. A mind as well as like a huge thumb drive, essentially, with a whole bunch of company secrets on it. And they're getting desperate as fuck because they just can't pin you guys down. And she's walking around with Darkross secrets in her brain. So I just want to pull the table and see what people are thinking. What does March think about all this?
March doesn't love it. March is probably like, half considering like, could he sort of double cross the rest of the group and get out of this alive and with money, but also feeling like it might be a little late for that.
Yep. Cool. What about
the idea definitely crosses his mind though.
Yeah, what about Dover?
I think Dover is just thinking about who's going to come after us, right, to prepare to fight off all these hordes of people trying to get their monies.
Right. What about Omen?
This was like a news broadcast, right?
Yeah, a news broadcast.
Omen is shocked that there's another clone that another group kidnapped, and is appalled that they're going to use them for terrorist activities.
Cool. Omen's precious. What about Z?
I think Z is just looking around, eyeballing all the other patrons in this bar, and looking for a way out that is not the front door. Whether he has to break through a window or something like that, or hide under tables because he's a little bit smaller, But yeah, he's looking for exits and probably thinking about ways to get the other people out too, but definitely himself first and then everyone else.
Cool. What about Tex?
Tex is he's probably trying to figure out how he's going to get everyone they're in before the rest of the patrons of the bar realize what's on TV. Because we got to get across that border, because they ain't going to take this little girl's freedom. So,
right. And what about Bina?
I think Bina, oh my god, sorry. That too weird, John, funny. I think Bina's much on the same page as Z. Like, of course, Adriana has rights and shit. That's stupid. And yeah, she's probably gonna like kill the lights first opportunity, like she did in the last bar, to get Adriana out and away from all the people here, I guess.
Okay, well, I think Sally says, like, don't worry, you're safe here, right? This is my place. This is my family. They're not going to, like, this is all kind of like a part of your subculture, right? Is what I got from Tex, right? Like, these people are in on the fringes of society, and they're not looking to get with the corporations. Plus, I think a lot of people who are sort of like a part of the same subculture of you, or have had any dealings with corporations, might hesitate as to if they would get that money in the end anyway, right? Like, they're more likely to be like, here's Adriana, and they're like, cool, thanks, boom, in the face, right? So, yeah, so you don't have to worry about fleeing just yet. But I think Adriana is like a little shook, right? Because they're debating as to if she is a real human or not, and she feels like one. So, but I think she goes to like talk to you all Sally's there as well, but she specifically is like eyeing Bina, I think, because they're the kind of like closest ones so far. And I think she says things have gotten desperate enough that we might need to try to contact my father at Biotechnica. And I think I've found a way for us to do that. I think I could use the hardware in my head to go in to the to cyberspace, basically, with Bina and any other hacker who wants to come along, and navigate to my father's terminal, and we could talk to him, perhaps.
Is it safe? Like, won't we kill you?
No, that's if you want to remove the information
Oh,
from my
okay.
head. Yeah, this is like hardware accelerating your deck with my head, basically. I have a GPU up in here.
And like, are you sure you want to get in touch with your dad? Like, no offense, but your dad seems like kind of a dick.
Well, I need to know if this is part of his plan or like, is he setting me up or what? Because if he's the one in danger and this isn't coming from him, then I need to know that before I can make a decision.
Okay, well, I respect your agency as a human being, so I'll support you whatever you want to do, Adriana.
Cool. And I was thinking in my brain, this isn't part of the scenario, but I was thinking it would be really cool if Z, like, you know how you're more of like a physical hacker? What if it was like there's some kind of cool device that could hook up into the deck that is like a physical thing that you could hack at the same time? Like, so they're navigating the cyberspace ways and you're, I don't know, trying to do some like crazy intricate puzzle that can help get into the Narcross servers or something like that. That might be fun. In my head, I was thinking about that, and I was like, it's cool because it's like a dual layer, right? Like, you could be doing it on the cyberspace level, you could do it on the physical layer, and then what that object might be could be just something that, you know, people in the setting like you are aware of and use to this effect to like bolster the efforts of this. Because actually, it's pretty funny in the scenario. They're like, okay, if you want to do this, you need like 6 processors, and they have to be this fast, and they have to be congruent and like lined up with this amount of speed, and it's all this other kind of crap. And I was like, but what if there's a person on the other end with a Rubik's Cube? And that is a computer.
So Z is like the hardware guy.
Yeah, like what if you're literally accelerating the hardware, whereas her brain is accelerating the like software, and then you like come at it from those angles? I don't know. I thought that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that.
Yeah. And March, maybe you're doing something cool as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super ready to also go into this cool cyberspace journey.
Like
don't know
maybe you and Bina could combine your ways of entering cyberspace.
Yeah.
Like Bina has a deck, and you have how do you do it again?
I just kind of have all the stuff in my head all installed up in there.
And
So it generally doesn't look like much from the outside.
Well, it could be like a jack-in thing, though,
Yeah,
right?
it
Like
could.
a classic
Oh, totally.
jack-in.
March is like a thief, right?
Yeah.
So together we're stealing hearts.
Oh God. Okay. That happened. Cool. So do people want to attempt that? And then this would not be the thing where it could kill her. This is just her wanting to navigate to see if her father is behind the ploy or if he has any information, because it's been predisposed, right, that he is the employer of the contract that you are meant to uphold, right? And if that's so, then he might have information that Weir had given him, which you guys don't know because he was murderized, like in the 2nd or 3rd episode. So, yeah. Dover, what is your thing again?
Like drums, like low frequency sounds, and then I also have cyber feet, anchoring cyber feet.
Ooh.
I can like walk on the ceiling, I guess, to get out of here, and
Okay.
motion detector, so people won't sneak up on me.
So are you an ace?
Pusher.
Oh, a pusher. Oh, okay. So you're like a
Or
cyber
booster,
person
sorry.
too. Excellent.
Yes.
So we almost have the 6 processors even. The 6 processors you would need. Cool. And then the other people, what do you just like? You could come along and just put on VR goggles or something. You don't have to be a part of it if you don't want to be.
I want to send IO.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't really tell IO what to do, I don't think, but this is a good moment for them.
Right. So what are you gonna do?
Nothing. Just gonna add some flavor to the session.
Okay, so you don't want to be in on the like riding along, stimming it?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I want my AI buddy. If I have to plug in so my AI friend can go, then so be it. But
Oh yeah, that would be kind of cool. Like, also the arm is like aiding in the overclocking and stuff, right?
well, I don't know if I'm gonna go that far, but
You play nice, arm. Okay. So okay, yeah, because I think the arm could definitely make you able to like jump in on it if you wanted to. But if you want to just have like fun intermittent shots where like they're doing this quick cyberspace thing or whatever, and you're just like out there eating food and watching the movie with them, that's completely fine as well.
no, I want some IO in there. I don't know what's gonna go on. Who knows? Beside you, who knows?
Okay. Sounds good. And what about Tex? What does Tex want to do?
I mean, if there's a use for me, then I can probably jack in. I have that rigger like Mohawk implant,
Oh, that's cool.
which is hidden under my cowboy hat that I use to control machines and stuff. So I don't know. It's probably not as sophisticated as like someone's deck, but I could probably get on to the make or whatever it is, the veil that way.
Cool. Okay. I like that. Okay, so almost everyone's going, and Darren might be going, right?
I was going.
Your arm is going, not you. Okay.
Yeah, not me. Just
That'll be
plugging a cord in.
right. Okay. Interesting. So, all right. Cool. So let's get a roll to get into Narcross then first. And we'll handle this in pairs, I think, because I still want to get it done fairly quickly. But if you do it in pairs, then whoever is being the supportive character can get it so that everyone has advantage. Ooh, also, did your character sheets, do you guys have advantage and disadvantage yet? I did send that feedback to that fella. Let's see.
Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah, awesome.
Little up and down arrows.
Up and down arrows, yeah, exactly. Cool. Black Soup, you the best. Okay. All right. So what does it look like, Bina, to initialize this? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have a picture as well from the book. Hacking, I've called it. So this is fun. The Adriana and a network runner crack Biotechnica, and they're like da, 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 with some old artwork type stuff happening. So what does it really look like?
Well, like Adriana is inviting me to like go into her head, so it's quite intimate to begin with. and my thing is all about seducing Wyatt. So it's probably quite like I don't know, carrying it intimate. It's a carrying it intimate hack. It's just like spinning your dicks for you, like I don't know, sensually or seductively to seduce like Adriana. I guess.
Cool.
Like with like her like bisexual lit veil avatar, like yeah, putting its fingers on like Adriana's like temples to get inside her brain, I guess.
Well, I kind of like even the visual of it being like you had to like tame the kind of like security that would be there otherwise, right? So like maybe in the veil she's got like a sort of, maybe like it's in that picture, right, with this weird little sprite creature thing with 4 arms or whatever is like her sort of like the avatar of her security, and that's the thing that you need to circumvent first.
Yeah, sounds good. It's very angelic layer looking.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's quite interesting.
I forgot all about the anime.
Yeah. So I think Adriana's helping you, so you can get advantage with this.
Yeah, I'll probably. It doesn't look too intimidating. I probably cup it like a firefly, like very delicately over, like I don't know, a glass cup.
Yeah, like I don't think you're doing like a wizard battle with it. Or
yeah. It's like a little firefly. It's so adorable and cute. Their security system is this tiny.
You just walk up and you're like, asparagus.
Yeah, and I feel like pretty happy about this. It's like very hashtag power of friendship going on, whereas we're all like going into her brain space together.
Right. So let's see.
Oh, sorry, I didn't do stakes or anything.
That's okay.
I got an 8 though.
An 8. Yeah, I'm trying to. Asher had a good idea of adjudicating it to a clock, but I don't have clocks in this Roll21, so I guess I will just kind of like write that we have 2 out of 8 segments. And not as attractive looking, but it does the job. Cool. So that works. I think. I think what happens is I'll start another clock, which is like the sort of time that you have to do that, and I'm gonna put that at 2:06. And once that second one is filled, then you'll start having to like fight this thing again, right? Like you've tamed it, but in 2 of 6. When it reaches 6, it kind of awakens again and will fight you for control. So that will be possible consequences going forward. So cool. You're like overclocked. Everyone's in the cyberspace action. Even let's see, what is maybe the arms avatar? Do you want to describe that, Darren, as a meta thing? What do you think it looks like in the veil?
I think that it looks like Bina's little sister, because Bina's been working with it so much, and there's that weird thing about the firewall that's down, and like Bina's presence is in her mystical veil being is necessary. So I think it looks a little bit like a little kid right now.
So I think the little kid goes over and you can see little Bina looking at big Bina. And you see the like, I don't know, what does it look like? Maybe sort of like a red sort of smell looking thing coming off of Bina, which is the trace program, right? So do you want to like roll on behalf of your thing to get rid of the trace program? And do you want to name it as well? Did we name it? We didn't.
Yeah, Io. Like
IO, right. So do you want to see if Io can break the transmission which would be wise if you're gonna hack into a server.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
So what does it look like for IO to do that?
It looks like a little like red stringy stuff, or like red.
Whatever you think.
Okay.
It
Oh,
can
okay.
look like whatever you want, but there's some sort of indication that she's being traced.
Mm-hmm. I think that it looks like I think it looks like a mosquito. That somehow it's stealthy enough that it doesn't get caught, right? Like mosquitoes are. And I think that Io, what did I do? Maybe Io just fucking like catches it with her hands and then maybe eats it to make it real weird. Nom, 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 nom.
Cool. Yeah, let's make this space alien. Alien. Cool. So how do you feel, or how does Io feel through you doing this?
Io feels. Oh, am I taking the spike for this? I guess not.
Yeah, it's your arm.
Io feels annoyed because there's this bug that she be fucking with Bina.
Baby, Io's been trying to tell you this for like 2 fucking sessions.
Yeah, that's also a good point. Irritated without no one annoyed. Well, that probably sounds like mad to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, mad. Mark a mad. Mark a mad. And then hit the roll button.
Nice.
I got it.
Cool. So I'm gonna say, let's see. A fun consequence might just be that it's tracking you now, though.
Yeah.
Ooh, I know. How about the consequence of that is that Io has it, and it's sort of like, I don't know, computer digesting it or whatever. And so eventually, like maybe by the end of the session or something, the trackle will be turned on, so you'll be trackable if you don't deal with that in cyberspace. But for now, it's just like, you know, in their belly, and that's how they've chosen to like suppress the signal.
Oh, it's quarantine.
Yeah, quarantine, exactly. But it's trying to fight out of the quarantine, as those viruses do.
Wily viruses.
Yeah. And so does Io just look like super satisfied after that, or what?
No.
Okay.
I think that Io. Well, wait. I think that Io is still going to be saying the same thing and trying to give these same warnings. So I think that if, especially Bina's still not getting it, Io's still going to be annoyed and probably increasingly mad, like actually mad about it.
Okay.
But if everyone's on the same page, then she'll chill out and be like, "Oh yeah, I told you guys."
Right. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so either Dover or March, I want to know what it looks like to traverse to get to the Narcross headquarters in the Vale. What does that look like for y'all? Either one of you that has an idea is cool with me.
I imagine like it sort of being through a Tron-like space, but with various like how if you like the specific subway system I'm thinking of is the BART in San Francisco, but like the weird noises you hear just going through tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining that, but like, okay, so bear with me here. Okay, so I'm imagining that, But if you took those noises and put them into the iTunes music visualizer,
Okay.
is I think the best way I have of describing it. So it's mostly a like black space with dotted with streaks of multicolored light every so often, sort of whooshing by with a howl, and it gets progressively brighter, and like the light concentration gets denser as we approach the Narcross headquarters.
Cool. So you're going through like the Tron-like space, so you guys are like jumping off of the equalizer thingies, like the points of light and stuff like that to get around?
Yeah, I imagine, like, yeah.
Cool, I like that. So how is it that you avoid like detection when you get to, so what does like Narcross headquarters looks like then, Dover?
I'm imagining
space in Tron.
Yeah, I'm imagining like the Hackers movie where there's these towers of data, you know.
Yeah, totally.
And then there's like visualization around it. What particularly are we looking for?
You're looking for the specific computer terminal from Dr. Francis, who is the father of Adriana. And trying to get information on him and possibly even like talk to him if you can establish a connection with the terminal if he's there and stuff like that. Just trying to hack into that specific node / computer.
All right. Yeah, so it's probably like getting past firewalls and, you know, pivoting through networks and things like that.
Cool. Okay. So who wants to roll that up and who is helping? Is someone helping Dover with that? You're a pusher, right? So you're quite good at it?
Yeah. No, I'm a booster.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, you're a booster. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So probably not you.
Yeah. Unless you're like beating up firewalls.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be cool. Cool. Okay, so March. Do you want to take
Yeah, let's do this.
Cool. How do you feel trying to navigate through this corporate infrastructure of crazy glowing pillar things?
I think given the context, it is like, you know, he loves doing this sort of thing, but right now it's pretty terrifying.
Fair. Sounds good. Okay, stakes is I think you'll hit some sort of intrusion stuff that the boosters might have to deal with. Nice. Okay.
Another 8.
Yeah, that's another 2 ticks though, because I'm doing it raid style. And then instead of increasing that clock, I'm gonna have an intrusion show up. And I think what happens is, I think you're like navigating, right? Each of you are trying to get to this specific location. And Dover, I think you like do the run and the jump to try to get to the same space, but there's like a force field erected in front of you, right? Like it doesn't hurt you hitting the force field, but you just like can't get beyond. How do you deal with that?
I have these like gauntlets, powered fists, so it's kind of perfect. I can like grab on with one and hit it with the other.
Sweet. So you don't even like bounce off it, you just like bounce on it and there's resistance, so you just grab on and start beating the shit out of it?
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. Cool. Is anybody helping you to do this thing? Although, remember, you can use a class slot as a booster to get major advantages in melee combat as well.
Okay. I guess I'll do that. So use a class slot to get advantage?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, see how someone can help. Unless they're like cheering me on or something. I don't know.
Well, Tex could always be shooting. Seems like Tex
Oh,
is
that's
always
true.
shooting. But if you already have advantage, there's so there you go. Okay.
I will listen.
Cool. Okay, so it's be 7 out of 8. All right, cool. So you beat the shit out of the wall, and then everyone's leaping to like the other side. Cool. So, Tex, you guys are. Oh wait. Oh yeah, no, 7 is right because a 10 should get you 3 ticks, I believe. So you have a little bit left that Tex needs to deal with. So what is Tex's problem?
What is my problem? Do I make my problem and then solve it, or?
I've heard from Paul Sagan that people aren't supposed to do that.
Yeah, right. I've heard that it's a less satisfying resolution. No, so are we still being chased by like some tracking software or ice or something like that?
I think visually you are, because there's the clock going, but it's like 2 out of 6. But you guys are doing pretty good so far. So,
because I kind of had an idea for like dealing with that.
Okay, do you want to kill the ice and then that will be the last step in reaching it? I think that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think what I do is I start rerouting resources to like machines at the locations of these servers.
Cool.
And so basically you get, because we're in those high-rise data towers, right? So you get these like cranes coming around and like hooking onto the ice, and like a forklift comes by and picks it up, and like all this like machinery is using its resources.
Cool.
But like visually it looks like it's attacking it.
Cool. And then what do we see? Is Tex just like that? Is the avatar of Tex just kind of like on autopilot?
I think he's got a lasso and he's like lassoing the machinery and then like directing it where to go.
Awesome. Okay. I love it. I'm all for this. And then let's see. As for stakes, you're getting pretty close to the goal, so probably like more intrusive countermeasures, like physical ones that can punch your avatars and make you feel the pain, like in the Matrix, right? If you die in the Matrix, you die in the real world. Dare just takes it. Cool.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
So this is probably fun.
Seems legit.
Yeah, like I'm lassoing cranes and shit and throwing them at ice. That sounds pretty fun. So and this is the company that I hate. So let's I'm gonna go with joyful.
Cool.
And then is anyone helping me?
Yeah, is anyone helping?
Could I help?
Sure. How would you help?
Maybe with the drumsticks, I can like figure out where these things are, like by the echoes or something.
Oh, that's kind of cool. So you're like beating the cyber walls as like an echolocation type thing. Cool. I like that. All right. So you get advantage on it.
Okay, cool. So I can just click roll increased. Is that how that works?
I think there's like a button.
Yeah.
There's an up arrow.
Let's try it. All right.
Wow. And it did the thing. I love it. Cool. 10. Okay, so you do the thing. You're doing it. Cool. Do you want to give a brief description of that happening then? And then you guys will break through to Dr. Francis's terminal.
Yeah. So I think you're like driving the cattle, right? Like you're making the noises and like driving the machinery and stuff, routing it out.
Is this what Tex used to do too?
Tex used to be he would work with machines, so he would run like heavy machinery.
Yeah, but like, would he do it in cyberspace like this? Like,
yeah, I think this is how he pictured it in his head.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So like when he was in cyberspace working with machines, he treated it like driving cattle and stuff like that. So yeah, so you get this picture of him like riding on some like molded piece of machinery that's not supposed to look like a horse, but now it is, and he's like lassoing stuff and dragging it into the ice.
Awesome. Love it. Cool. I'm just navigating to the paragraph. Okay, so you break free. So I think what it looks like now is I think we get like the interposing shots between y'all in the cyberspace area looking at like all these files from the specific tower, right? Like it's the same thing as what the people in the reality are doing, watching the movie on the big screen, except they're like laying on grass and watching the screen, watching the movie, and you're in cyberspace standing up looking at a screen on the tower, and it like is interposing shots like that. And what you see on the screen though is Dr. Francis's face, and he's like typical white male privilege with like salt pepper hair and stuff like that. He's like Richard Gere if his face was thinner as an older person, right? Okay. So and as it like clicks on, he has like a webcam and stuff like that, so you're viewing it through the webcam and the voice like that, right? You're interacting with his computer systems and hacking into them and stuff like that. He says, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're still alive." And then let's see. Officially, we were told nothing more than that you had been kidnapped. Once I heard that the airship had been shot down, I thought it was over. For people who weren't here, they were on an airship, and it like I can't remember the ship names, but two really like raptor looking things shot it down, and it ended in like a fiery wreck. There was a sudden blackout after that, at least in here. There were some rumors, but nothing solid. When they made your existence public, I knew that you hadn't been caught yet, but I didn't know if that meant you were still alive. We are arranged the contact himself, and for security reasons, never told me who it was, so I had no way of setting up a new contact once the first meeting was shot. I didn't know if your team was alive. My outside contact was cut off. We had me set up a blind failsafe in case of emergency. The people who have been here forever know that that's probably the rest of the special code that we've all been like, what the fuck is this? The entire game, basically. Let's see. And he's like, pay close attention. The key to the identity of the contact is written into the code of the 500th line of the pattern recognition algorithm on the ocular enhancement chip in Adriana's brain. Weird said that you would know what that means. It's kind of weird, actually. It says that he shouldn't know, but didn't he like make her and stuff? And like ostensibly should know this for sure. But anyway, he says that he has no idea what that means. And he says there's like a it's like a dark lab in which he's saying all this. And the door behind him has like a passcode that's highlighted in red, meaning that it's kind of like he's locked in this room, probably in this terminal. And it's very like Spartan tech looking room, right? Like very futuristic, white, minimalistic stuff, with like a bunk bed or whatever with one person. And he's like, I've been trying to crack Narcross for days, but this terminal is useless. Thank God you're still alive though, Adriana. Thank God. And she's like, oh, Dad, yay, all that kind of stuff. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah. He can see Adriana, right?
Yeah, I guess to him, what would it look like? Like, maybe it just looks like this hangout call where you guys are like hanging there, and when you talk, it goes big screen or something. I'm not sure.
So, how does he react to her new punk makeover?
I don't know if you would see that in cyberspace.
Oh, God damn it! I just wanted one thing on this game.
Okay. He does see.
It's fine.
I think he's like, I hope you've been enjoying your freedom, Adriana, because they're coming for you. They won't let me have access to. I can't remember what the terminology is they use in this, but basically, he can get information in unless it's like heavy packets. So like, he can't watch the news and stuff like that, but he can get like text documents and things like that, like the stuff that Narcross needs him to do. Otherwise, it's like cordoned off and stuff. So yeah. What else? Anyone else have stuff? And he's like, hurry, they're coming. I can hear footsteps.
What should? Sorry.
Oh,
What should
please
we?
go ahead, yeah.
What should we be expecting to deal with here?
You're not coming here, are you?
Well, no.
Yeah, so out of character for a moment, what this means for people is that you should probably get the code from Adriana's ocular implant thingy, right? And then crack the code, which will give you the contact that Weir was setting up for the buyer and seller of this stuff. And then once you have that information with the contact, then you can kind of like proceed and deal with what you and Adriana want to do. But contacting the person that we are set up as the go-between will, and meeting them is sort of like the end goal of the mission. You're like done after that. Yeah, you need to find Dr. Alcove. Yeah, exactly. Darren, did you say something?
I was just gonna say I was probably trying to open the door behind the good father doctor.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of funny. You'd have to roll a date, whatchamacallit, a fate die or whatever for that, right? Because it's like, cool, I'm out and I'm in a restricted Narcos facility, ostensibly. All you hear is like, I'm out, and then it's like, pew, pew, pew. What's that?
I have the sense not to leave. I just wants to open the door.
Oh, okay.
I said he might have the sense not to leave, but I just wants to open the door.
Okay, do you want to roll for that?
Yeah, I'd love to roll for it.
Okay.
Yeah. How's Io feeling?
Curious? That's a cool door.
Yeah. I like curious. Where's curious under peaceful?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that takes away a mad.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's too bad. Okay. So I think your conversation's cut short. I think it goes from I hear them coming to like the lights flicker on and off, and then it becomes like the emergency power lighting, like dim lighting. And he's like something dramatic. Adrian, if I don't see you again, I love you. Click. Right? It like doesn't even get it all out, and then your guys are like ejected from the system, right? Fraser does not sound sad at all. Yeah. Yeah, that's really too bad, guys. I'm sorry that happened. Cool. So you're ejected from the security. Do you guys want to do the 500th line of the pattern recognition algorithm thing?
It sounds like a lot of hard work.
No, I think she could just pull it up, to be honest. Now that you know where to look. It's one of those, like, if you only knew the whole time thing, right?
I thought you said she wasn't an android.
She isn't.
She has, like, code in her eyeballs.
She's got a hybrid mind, and she's got ocular implants.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's still like a grown human, right?
Some of us
everyone's
have
a
tech in
cyborg,
our
let's-
heads, Dover.
Yeah. So I think actually, just to speed this up, what happens is you guys get out of there, and Adriana, who is connected to your deck, calls up the code herself on the cyber deck, and you guys can read it. I'll just copy and paste it. It's a lot of blah. There you go. That's what prints out. And then the first half of the code is in the top right corner.
It's basic.
Yeah. Go Link, go Link. Yeah, go long. I'm supposed to let you figure it out or something, but why don't we make it a roll? It's supposed to be like literally the line after that is like, shouldn't take them long to figure out how it fits together with the first cipher clue card. Yeah, also all. Oh shoot. I'll just upload it real quick. Well, let me rotate though. It's pretty stupid. So here's the other part of the code, but it won't let me rotate it. Mm-mm.
Isn't it already up in the right corner?
Is it just backwards?
Well, there's another one though, right?
Is it different?
Isn't it different?
Oh, this one has more lines.
Yeah, the numbers are backwards, is what I noticed. So this is 551. Oh no, that's the same number.
Yeah.
It's just sideways, so I got confused.
2.
Yeah, there's another. No, it's
Oh,
the same
it's the
thing.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay, there might be a different thing. So just look at the thing that I put in the chat instead.
Is it the bold one?
Yeah, the bold.
Engineer Sally Nugent, 1 year, 589. I've cracked your code.
Yeah, I like how
Did you
it's
just look in the book?
It's Sally from the bar.
We've got to go back to the bar.
just
Gotta go back.
Well, maybe I'll just tell you maybe then. Okay. After some time scrutinizing it.
Both
Also,
understand
that.
this.
I like that it's funny how it's like it fits together with the first cipher clue card, especially with a numerical clue at the end. They'll get it right away. And then it's like if it's really late and your players are having trouble, a character can make an int roll to solve the puzzle.
Should we just roll?
I'll just tell you. That sounds boring.
Yeah, it does. If we fail, then we get bad information.
This, I think, is it rearranged. There you go.
That makes sense.
This is a name, phone number, and address of the person who was supposed to pose as Robin Garcia, which is your contact at Night City. And her phone number, or their phone number, I guess. You don't know if it's a woman or a man. So, yeah, does anyone want to use the phone?
Well, there's only one of us outside of cyberspace, right?
Well, I think everyone's jacked out now, but that's yeah. I don't know if you want Omen to call, to be honest.
He's a cyber phone.
Yeah. Do you want Adriana to call or something? Everyone's like opting out. Looks like it's either March or Adriana.
I'll do it. I'll make the call.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see.
The things I do for you people.
So, yeah, you can't see the, like think of it as sort of like it's like the huge brick that you're calling on type thing, right? Or if you're in the bar, actually think like Blade Runner, where it's like a payphone looking thing, but it has the little visual screen as well, except that the visual screen's blocked, right? You just see like an anonymous head or whatever there, because it's just not about that. It sounds like a female voice, and they say, "I can't believe you made it." I wasn't very surprised when Biotechnica intercepted you on the way out. I sure didn't think you could get across the country on your own.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I like that line. All the terms of the deal are still good. However, I have an account to pay you from. Let's do this. You probably don't know exactly when you'll be arriving in Night City, and I don't want to set up another rendezvous that may just get broken. We take a risk every time that happens. Call me again when you're just outside of the city. That way we minimize the risk of having an uninvited party show up.
All right, cool. Thanks, mysterious question mark lady.
Any other questions or anything? That's pretty awesome.
I'm gonna put it to the group. Any questions?
Like, how can we determine that she's reliable?
Yes, that is an expected question. She says, I work for a corporation, but don't get excited. It's not Biotech Corporation, and I won't say which one. I run a side business establishing new identities and legal California SIN numbers for immigrants coming into the country. I also have several pipelines for getting people out of the country and, if necessary, off of the earth. Hey, a 9-to-5 paycheck doesn't pay all the modern woman's bills, you know.
It is the off the earth thing. Is that like notable in this world? Yeah,
like it's a really rich thing to do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But it's not like, whoa, what?
She gets her rich jobs, yeah.
Ask her if she's heard about this other group that kidnapped the other clone.
Yeah, so what's the deal with this? Omen wants to know what the deal is with this other clone.
With what?
The other clone. The group of terrorists that kidnapped the other clone.
As far as I know, there's no other clone. You're talking crazy, kid.
Hey, I'm just relaying what Omen said, okay?
And remember.
You wouldn't listen to me.
Yes. Anyway, we're getting close to the time where people can track us. I know these things. Remember, my pseudonym is Robin Garcia. Don't forget it. Click.
Bye.
Well, you can't get traced, right? Haven't you seen Mission Impossible?
Oh, yeah, no. Could have said bye.
Yeah, for sure. She's very rude. Okay. Also, so that all happens. The people inside, you see, like the news story is still going on about Adriana, right? Like it's a 24-hour news cycle thing, but there's this person who comes on, Aaron Omaha, and he's like radically against cloning. He runs like a purist group, essentially, saying that clones are no good, and if they find Adriana, then it'll be real bad news. They're abominations, they should die, all that kind of stuff. And he's up for election and the equivalent of the Senate here kind of thing, and he's like, if you vote for me, I'll make sure they never clone another human again, right? And then he's got the Bible and all that going for him, and people are like, well, yeah. And that's it. So he's a
Mark,
douche.
are you sure she hadn't heard about the other clone?
I am like, I'm gonna say 98% sure that they were referring to us and Adriana. Like,
I think Adriana goes up and puts like her hand on your shoulder, Omen, and is like, "It was definitely just me. I'm sorry you're confused. We should have been more explicit, Omen."
I just
not
don't.
sure you could have been.
I'm just not. I just don't know who this terrorist group is.
It's us. We're the terrorists, Omen.
Yeah, you guys are being branded as terrorists for helping me. And she looks at you all and she's like, I really appreciate it.
They said a fake thing on the news. Okay.
Exactly.
No, there's no fake news. The news is completely trustworthy.
I mean, I ain't the smartest, but I'm pretty sure that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. And then Omen, you get like a subdermal ring in your brain that somebody's trying to call you again.
A subdermal ring in my brain.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready for this auditory and visual hallucination of a phone call.
Okay, sounds good. Do you hook up your arm to the projector so everybody can see?
No, because I don't know what's going on.
Cool.
Everyone
Oh,
can
well,
watch
you
me
probably
talk
have...
to myself.
It's the same number that Satchel Sabo called you from before.
I didn't save it.
Okay. Okay, well, on your visual hallucination screen, Satchel Sabo comes up and she's like, I think I have a way to combat all these news stories. Are you ready for this?
The one thing I don't mess with is the news. This better be real good.
Yeah. Why don't we make our own story? Adriana has ocular implants, right? What if she records her story and then we release it to the news, humanizing her, right?
But she's a clone.
Yes. She is.
Well, I don't listen. I'm not in charge of Adriana's eyes, Satchel. So you're gonna have to ask her if you want to use her smell-o-vision.
Right. Can you just, click her into the call future style? She doesn't say future style, right?
Adriana, Satchel's on my brain. Who wants to talk to you?
So now do you put it on the projector or?
No, I think I just hold
What's
my
it
hand
look
out.
Okay. Yeah. And I guess she plugs into the trode of your arm, right?
Yeah, probably. There's probably a USB port somewhere on there.
Yeah. And I think what happens though is Adriana uploads a whole bunch of different data basically to Satchel, and Satchel's going to edit it into like a documentary featurette of Adriana's life so that it counterpoints the news, right? Like it clearly you're not terrorists and Narcross has been attacking you this whole time and all that kind of stuff. So Satchel's going to try to weave it all into like a thing that will combat the essentially fake news, right? And yeah, and she's like, I think I have what I need, but you should make contact, finish your mission, and get out of here just in case, because who knows, right? And then as all Cyberpunk calls ends, it suddenly goes gone. She's like, click.
Not giving me time to have a response, I see.
Yeah, everyone's in a hurry.
Was that all of that visual data uploaded through a secure file transfer protocol?
Sure. Yep.
Adriana's a very good hacker.
Yes. Yeah. And her brain probably just does that stuff, right?
Sure.
Yep. It's just an automated procedure. Or maybe Satchel instructs it or something. But anyway, so now that we have this information, and bearing in mind that there's $1 million on your head, what do people want to do? March. Where you at?
I'm at let's book it tonight city and
Cool.
get this over with.
Yeah, Dover.
I'll agree. Yeah, trying to figure out a way to get to Night City from here. We could probably they probably have like bus maps or stuff in the bar. I guess we're not in the bar anymore.
Yeah, you guys are in the bar still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll look for like transportation information, I guess.
Cool. What about Omen? Does Omen want to help? Or is Omen looking for those other terrorist groups?
Well, I guess that has been proven fake, or that we're the terrorist group or something. Omen is, yeah, I mean, Omen's helping. Omen wants to get out of here. Whatever we gotta do. If I need to sweet talk somebody.
Okay, sounds good. Tex.
Yeah, it's time to go. Maybe we can steal a plane or something.
Cool. And Bina.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like everyone's keen to get a move on it. What does Adriana want to do?
Adriana wants to get to the heart of this mystery, but I think is still unsure if she wants to like stay with you guys or not. Also, within this module, it tells me what she wants to do, but I've had a clock the entire time. So every time you guys were like trying to convince her to stay and stuff like that, I have like a thing. So that will be revealed at the end. And on that, we go to break. So let's come back at 25. Sound good? Cool. All right. So, in terms of getting to Night City from here, I think it would be very funny if Sally had like some old ass plane that people could go in. Like maybe not like a crop duster, because you guys wouldn't fit, but something like equivalent looking in this, right? Where like she goes to the back shed or whatever and like pulls off a tarp, and it's like this old beat up thing that can like barely hold the six of you or something like that, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah. And then on the side it says like Mustang Sally, right? Because it's her old plane. So, does anyone know how to fly this thing though? She's got like her hand on her hip or something as she says this to you all in the barn, right?
As a rigger, would that be something I know how to do, or is like
Sure. Yeah, I think you could.
unless someone else is like really good at it?
Yeah, I think it's like a smart device, right? Like you could sync with it just like a gun, basically, and fly in.
Yeah, I'll connect with this plane.
Sounds good. And I think Sally's like, you take good care of Mustang. You hear, Tex? You owe me one already. This will be double.
You got it, Sally. Tell you what, if I make it back here, if I make it back, I'm gonna get you that thing I promised you.
Okay, cool. Her eyes kind of light up, and then she's just like looks at you with cynicism, right? Also, for new people especially, it might be exciting that Robin Garcia said that she would upheld the original contract, right, Omen? Because what that means is that it's like retroactive and 200 EB plus every single day that you guys were out here, in addition to the payout of the contract, right? Minus the fees that you put on the debit card if you kept receipts. Yeah. Slash.
Wait a minute. You mean to say we're not being reimbursed for those travel expenses?
Well, if you yeah. So if you spend stuff for the mission on the debit card, yes. But if say I don't know, someone got a cyber arm and can't prove that was really needed, that might be deducted.
It has been needed.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't get your arm blown off or anything. You were just like, I want a cyber arm, and you had a credit card, though, right?
Well, wait a minute. That was an expense account. That was money is meant to be expensed.
Sure. We'll see if we can convince them later, maybe.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so you're still getting the 200 EB per day, and we'll just have to abstract that because we haven't really been keeping track of days anyway. So, cool. Do you guys leave right away? Are you going to stay for the movie? Maybe it's like The Big Sleep or something playing. Classic.
Let's fly by the cover of night.
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Maybe this thing can do one of those, like, what is it? Hello jumps instead of halo, right? Like low orbit altitude. I can't remember what it's called. Definitely not a hello jump, because all that comes up with is Adele's song Hello. So it's one of those things, though. A hey ho, yeah. Yeah. What's that?
Hey, Tex.
Yeah, buddy.
Don't call me buddy. Sorry.
Right,
How mad do you think Sally will be when I puke in her plane?
Oh, come on. You listen, you's gonna be all right. Like, you just need to just put your head down, hold on. You're gonna
Not
be fine.
an answer, Tex.
Yeah, well, I mean, You want like a real answer, or you want like you want me to comfort you or something?
No, I want an actual answer.
Yeah, she gonna kill you.
All right, cool.
But that's
Good to
okay.
know.
You staying in Night City. You's probably staying in Night City
Yeah,
anyway.
it's fine.
Yeah,
Just wanted to make sure.
it's gonna be okay.
And
I'll get you a bucket.
Yeah. I think this is like actually a bigger plane. I like the idea of it being like one of those like big Bertha plane type things, because that way you could take your bikes too, and then you could like land and then go off on the bikes and go zooming around and stuff, and that would be fun. So yeah. Cool. So it sounds like you are flying the plane, right? Is anybody helping? Is anyone a co-pilot?
I'll be co-pilot with my sweet thieving skills.
Oh yeah, cool.
Nice.
I like that. Oh yeah, we didn't have enough clock to do your cool Mission Impossible Rubik's Cube thing. Sorry, I forgot about that.
I've still got it in my pocket somewhere.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if we need to make this a roll, because I think it would just take like more time or whatever, right? If you didn't really know what you were doing. I don't think we have to go into granular detail about how well you get this to Night City. But why don't you kind of like paint the picture of what this looks like?
Okay, so is this the kind of plane that can, like, you said it can like fire down and take off up, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like an old plane, but it's got like newer tech in it.
Yeah.
So I think you get this scene of Tex like jumping in the front and like flipping a bunch of switches and starting to fire stuff off, and looking over at Z, right? He says, hang on, watch this. And he grabs the like radio thing and he goes, "Attention, passengers, this is your captain speaking. We're going to be heading to Night City at whatever altitude. And if y'all could just keep an eye on our friend March, he's feeling a little queasy today. Rodeo's got a bucket for him, but everybody just keep a close eye and hold on to your butts." And then he like hangs it up and looks back and he's like, "All right, hit it."
March is already vomited by this point. Like, before he even...
Yeah.
Rodeo looks all sad when he gets there and there's already puke.
Yeah. There's like an awkward moment in the cargo hold where everyone's strapped in and looking at each other as you're saying this, and March is already like, cool.
I think Z is like repairing the console and stuff as it's going, and things keep breaking and like falling apart, and he's just constantly having to put stuff back together because Tex doesn't have more than 2 arms to fly the plane with, and so
That makes sense.
there's just tools sticking out of like all different pieces of the console.
Cool. Okay, so and then we like fast forward in time a little bit. Does anybody want particular scenes with anybody else in here before we move to Night City area?
I think we should all take turns on Adriana's clock to convince her to be a puck.
Yeah, nice. Shouldn't have mentioned that, I guess. It's logged in from now on. She may not be swayed. She's sleeping. She just took some drugs for the queasiness. But does anyone want to see it? No? Everyone good?
I mean, I'll try and increase Adriana's puck clock unless she is passed out on drugs.
No, that's fine. If it's just one person, that's okay. Cool. So, maybe she is trying to sleep or something, though, but is like easily roused or whatever, right? She sees you coming near.
Yeah. I don't know what's a cool puck thing to do on a plane, though.
Use some motor oil for something.
Graffiti.
Yeah, let's graffiti the plane.
You're gonna... Sally's playing.
Definitely not gonna like that.
Somebody got puke on it. What is the little graffiti gonna do?
Yeah, while she's spraying the place.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Use a pressure washer. It's fine.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it's not particularly about her being punk. It's just more like swaying her decision one way or the other, right? It doesn't
yeah.
have to be like if you graffiti, you'll feel the
You feel
punk
the-
rising within you.
Yeah. No, and then again, I guess like we could just abstract it to like I just want to talk to her about like how she feels about like her rights as like a clone and talking about that kind of stuff and like what like and I guess like that she can like whatever the normative culture says about her, she'll always have a home like in our like cyberpunk counterculture space to like express herself and that kind of thing. So like fuck.
So is it more like you're framing it as like we'd be really sad if you left, like it's almost like a goodbye type thing?
Yeah,
But
totally.
you're always welcome here.
Yeah.
/ being emotionally manipulative. No,
yeah, exactly. I'll give her some more of my like GIF pins, like and stuff.
Yeah, they won't welcome me back now. You have the pins.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so how do you feel doing this?
I guess she probably is like almost feeling a little bit sad because this might be the last time that she sees Adriana, and they've had such a wild adventure together across all the places with the Elvises and like Johnny Cash Town and like all the clone horses.
Yeah.
That was
That's
wild.
true.
And like Omen flirting with that guy at the bar, like punching him in the face. Like all they're reminiscing about how great all of these times were. It's that part of the finale.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Sorry, I was stalling. I was trying to remember how to roll dice. Ooh, I'm so close to being spiked and I'm sad.
And
That's interesting.
you're a pusher, right? So this would probably be with disadvantage. So you're not doing your thing. Unless
Yes,
somebody's
yes.
helping.
Yeah, is Owen also recounting stories with me?
Remember that time in the club? That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I turned the lights out and then like Owen got dicked. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I think I'm recounting stories with you.
Cool. So you'd have a normal roll instead of disadvantage.
I can just hear you wanting this to go badly.
No.
I got a 6.
Okay, sounds good. It's a clock, so you always make progress. It's like
Okay.
I'm treating it as like a downtime project.
Nice.
I just didn't want to say that out loud because that's weird.
It is,
Cool.
yeah. Peeking
Yeah,
noises
so
in the
I
background.
think she gets like teary-eyed, and especially since it's the finale, though, we don't know what she'll decide until the end, right? She's all like, "I just don't know, such a hard decision," and like cries and stuff, and hugs you, and balls into you. Cool. And then we cut to Night City, right? So I have 2 questions, either of which y'all can answer on your way. So I think you're coming in like a little bit lower over the city, right? And you can see it and stuff like that. And we get in the video, like TV show movie of this, we get shots of the city. Think kind of like the beginning of Ghost in the Shell, right? Where it's like doing little tracking shots around the city slowly to kind of give you an idea of what it's like. So I want to know, how do we know that this is the dominant base for cyberpunks in America, or what shows that the corporate side and the cyberpunk side are locked in battle if you know where to look in the city? Either or both questions are fine to answer. It can even be cinematography.
The first thing that popped to mind is, since it's such a huge city, you've got like all of these billboards and company names and all that kind of stuff all over all the buildings, but you totally see some of them are changing from like Arasaka to like Arasaka or whatever, like that kind of stuff. There's constantly this kind of play back and forth between the control that the punks have over the more like Veil aspected stuff, and then the corporate just control over the actual day-to-day life of people. So it's like graffiti that's constantly being covered back up with paint by these drones and that kind of stuff. I really like that imagery.
That's probably like an emerging post-punk scene where like you can buy corporatized punk wear, and there's probably like some fake punks, like in some verbal altercation with like real punks who have like DIY'd like clothes and like cyber wear and stuff like that. Post-punk corporate culture.
Cool.
I think the corporate buildings have like coffee shops that are very punky, that are like all collective owned and things, and they have like all the like punk literature, but it's super fancy. So it's like actual books that used to be like a bunch of zines or something, and they're compiled in like hardbound for people.
I think you're probably seeing a lot of like luxury advertisements, like really expensive luxury items like watches and cars and things like that, juxtaposed to like a lot of homelessness and just like people living on the street, extreme poverty, right next to all these huge billboards for this super expensive crap that nobody really wants.
I think that I was thinking there's like all of that bleed over, but there's still a lot of stratification like underneath or like in the infrastructure of the city. So it's like specifically there's probably like a subway system that goes in between like corporate buildings and corporate sponsored apartments that ferry all of these like corporate employees around. And then there's like a poorly maintained public transport above ground that like the punks use, and like immigrants, refugees, basically anyone who's like not gainfully employed or something like that. Yeah. Giggle buses. Yeah, stuff like that. I don't know. There's probably like stores, like convenience stores and grocery stores where you have to like swipe in with your corporate ID, and like punks can't use those. So like it's set up stratified like that throughout.
Cool. Yeah, and I think I will go the cinematography route. And there's like all the corporate buildings are showing are showed as like incredibly white and picaresque and stuff like that. And as you get all the tracking shots to all the cyberpunk places, it's like incredibly dark, trying to like show the viewers, especially American audiences, which are a little slow, right? That this is some stratification of class. I'm just kidding. Love ya. So, okay, so you need to call your contact on the way to Night City in order to get the location, right? So I kind of like the idea of this taking place, like all of these shots taking place during the landing, and it's all just like silent, and you guys whipping out on your bikes and like making your way to this location, and we get all these like shots and like really really long shots of the just like the beginning of Ghost in the Shell, right, where it's sort of like unnerving and quiet and showing all of these things and forcing you to pay attention to the city. But who wants to make the call to your new friend, Robin Garcia?
I'll make the call again just because I did it the first time.
Cool. So We'll just abstract the call out. She suggests a large abandoned shipyard and dry dock in San Moro Bay in the industrial South Night City area. She often uses it as a port for smuggling out refugees and fugitives, and she is familiar with the area and the people who live in it. Does that
Cool.
sound good with y'all? Yeah. Okay,
Sounds
click.
super ripe for an ambush, but
Yeah, I like Robin.
Actually.
Every time Robin gets off the phone with you, she's just like, "I love that guy." He's like, "Cool, sounds good." Click.
Is this a pontoon boat? Can we land in the bay?
Sure, if you want. Yeah, that sounds cool. And then you guys like whip out on the docks with your Shivas and your thunder gods. Sounds good. So we get like a very like noir shot of the docks, right? Probably reminiscent of when you guys were in New Orleans, right? Where it's been kind of like gentrified-ish docks with some like technology stuff happening, right? It's not just like the normal 60s dry dock looking stuff. It's got like a lot of automation, and there's probably not a lot of people around just because it is automated, right? It's one of the ways that the setting would be like, no people though, all automated, the dangers, the technophobia. And we get the shots of you guys whipping around all these like different units and stuff, making your way to there. And when you dismount, there's probably like the classic shot of like her using the only sort of manual dock. So there's like that long lamp post just on that dock with one head light that's shining down on like a silhouetted figure, right? Which is presumably Robin Garcia. And she's probably got like a hat on and it's looking very like noir, right? And as you get closer, ninjas freak out. No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. Robin says, "It's amazing to actually meet you all this time. I thought you guys were dead. I can't believe you made it. It's amazing."
you keep saying that.
I mean, you evaded 3 of the highest corporations in the country. I think it is a feat, don't you?
I'm not saying it's not. It's just the emphasis seems to be on the whole not being able to believe it.
Well, haven't you seen how dark it is out here, kid? We all need a little hope in your mind.
Who even are you?
And she's like, those people have something coming to them, that's for sure. And she tells Adriana it's like a privilege to meet her, right? And she'll provide the payment, cash, debit cards, offshore account numbers, etc. And she says, "You have more than earned whatever you're contracted for. I wish I could give you more, but there's barely enough in these accounts to cover the contract. No one expected the trip to take this long." I like all the like shade that she throws. That is verbatim. All right, so is anybody watching the doc? Like, do you have a sentry posted or anything?
I'll watch out since I'm not part of like the main group, I guess.
Cool. Make an awareness check. How are you feeling? Also, do you have any cyber eyes stuff, like night vision or anything that would help you with this kind of stuff?
I have like UV vision. That's what I imagine.
Nice. That's sweet. Cool. So roll with advantage then for sure.
All right, I'll do peaceful. 6.
6. Okay, cool. So you're looking around and it all looks fine. Z, how is it that you know that someone's trying to like physically hack into the area close by here? Do you hear something? Do you have like just a gut intuition? Does the device that you have alert you to physical things being hacked nearby?
I have a motion detector. I don't know if that would help.
Oh, I mean Z.
Um,
Motion detector.
yeah, just throw motion detectors all over the place. Yeah, I like going back to this object since we didn't end up using it earlier,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like in my pocket, you know, or maybe I've got it out fidgeting with it,
Sure.
because Z's totally ADD, I'm sure, and
Well, it's a tense situation too, right?
right, and it just starts like vibrating or maybe like almost coming apart from all the energy inside, and he keeps trying to put it back together, and eventually, like after a few seconds, he realizes that it's not normal, like something weird is going on. He kind of like looks up, starts looking around. Everybody, I
That's
don't think this is a good sign.
That's when a giant billboard close by. Here's a picture of what's happening to you. Erupts onto a screen, so you can imagine it sort of like. I don't think you're that close to it because you're on a dock, so I don't even know why it looks like that. But I would say like across the bay or something, there's like a giant billboard, maybe even projected from some company or something like that, right? Like, and it looks like it's floating above the water in the bay, yeah. And on the screen, Seiji Okano shows up, and Francis Young at the same time. Together. Oh, didn't see that coming, did you? Also, I don't want people to make checks. So basically, if your characters were wondering how this happened, the veil. When you guys hacked into Francis's terminal, he sort of like back hacked Adriana and got the code information at the same time that she like put it on your deck. He got it and made the connections and stuff like that. It was a capability nobody suspected, the segment says. And because he had the code, he cracked your contact's information, and they've been waiting for your contact Robin to make a connection with you guys. Like how everyone's just like laughing.
I wonder who those people are.
What?
Well, none of us remember who those people are.
Seiji Okano? Oh, he's the leader of Arasaka. You guys have heard of that before. But yeah. It's all the information that you found on the first session of Joshua and Alex's one when they took out Mike. I think that was his name. Probably not, actually. The guy who was going to kill you, your secondary pusher guy who was like working for Arasaka, all the information you found was on Seiji Okano, who worked for Arasaka. Right? So you already know who this looks like. And then Dr. Francis is Adriana's father, right? Yeah, Michael Hart. Yes, that is because you found all this stuff. And that should help you because you have all of the physical stuff that you need to perhaps do something about this, Z. But first, I need to monologue at you. So they appear on the screen. Young takes the initiative and he's like, Adriana, it's me, it's your father. Listen to me, everything is different now. You can live, you're far too valuable to the company. They'll never let anything happen to you. They've made a deal that will keep you safe forever. And his eyes are desperate and pleading. I added that myself. It doesn't say it. And Okana will join in. It's true. There is no need for us to be enemies anymore. All that was needed was a little good business sense. Please, Adriana, listen to your father and to the characters. Oh, you should have made a deal when you could. Yeah, when you could. You might be rich now, but at least you will escape with your lives if you surrender the clone to us. Otherwise, you are in the most uncomfortable position. There are reinforcements on the way. It's a weird dialogue, but okay.
I mean, I'm just standing here. There are way more uncomfortable positions to be in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So first, before I reveal what Adriana wants to do, I want to hear what everybody else is thinking in their brain holes. March, what you thinking?
What was that about? Getting away with our lives if we surrender the clone?
Yeah, so his deal is like, if you give them Adriana, then you guys can just leave, and you just been paid, right? So it's like, woohoo, you're rich. Yeah, thought you might like that. So you're thinking, okay, Dover?
I'm not really sure what's going on.
Okay. So these people want Adriana because she's a clone, right? And they've formed some sort of deal with Dr. Young, who is the person who creates clones, right? He's the only one that has this information. Presumably, they're probably going to merge and make more clones and make super soldiers and shit like that, right? They need a working test subject in order for that to happen, so they need Adriana back. And Dr. Young presumably cares about Adriana, so it's like, you should just come back because they made a deal. I made a deal to keep you safe, so you should just come here now, right? And yeah, so that's the deal.
And we were going towards them anyway.
Well,
they're
they're just like saying that they're implying that they're going to ambush you, right? Unless you just give Adriana over. And they're telling you this via a projected image in the veil that is like fairly close by, maybe like, I don't know, 50 to 100 feet away or something like that in the water.
All right, so I guess I'm looking out for where these people are that are going to ambush us.
Okay, so do you want to give Adriana over though, or do you no?
No.
Okay, sounds good. Omen?
Sorry, it took me like a minute to unmute for some reason. Anyway, after that dramatic pause. I think that okay. What's going on right now is that Omen's having an argument in his brain with Io because Io's finally like, why didn't you listen to me, you complete reaching idiot? And regardless of that, because Omen's not paying attention, Omen does not want to give over Adriana because the original deal was just to get her to Night City. So I'm done. And also, we wouldn't have had to go through all of that if they would have just figured this out in the beginning.
Yeah.
So no.
So don't give Adriana. Give
No.
Adriana? Don't.
Do not.
Okay.
Give Adriana to the billboard.
Right, okay. Sounds good. What about Z?
Adriana's father looks like he's been coerced to Z. And so Z's interested in letting Adriana do whatever she wants to do. But she doesn't really feel like this is the information being he doesn't really feel like the information being presented by Arasaka and Young is all true. So
okay.
He's just checking out his gizmo and trying to figure out if there's something he can do if need be.
Okay. I'll come back to you. What about Tex?
Ain't no daddy calls his daughter the clone.
Yeah.
So it's ultimately the kid's decision, but he's strongly in favor of her getting her freedom.
The last paragraph was from Okano, not the dad though.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah. The dad's paragraph ends with, "They've made a deal that will keep you safe forever."
he still thinks the girl shouldn't go plug herself back into the corporate machine.
Fair enough. Bina?
Yeah, Adriana should be a free human being and shit because she's a human with agency and stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
So, why don't you tell me how Adriana tells them to go fuck themselves then?
I think you just said it.
Okay. Fuck you, Dad.
Yeah.
Screw you, you're not my real dad. Cool. Okay, so does she just say fuck you then?
Yeah, I like that. It's
And
the
like
right
points
point.
at them or something?
Yeah. Fuck,
Cool.
fuck you and fuck you. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Maybe it's the first time she's sworn in the whole thing too, to give it some gravitas. Cool. Okay, so going back to Z, what is it? What do you want to do? Do you want to like cut them off, or what exactly do you want to do with your gizmo?
I think it has a connection, like you were mentioning, since it was Michael Hart's. I think it has a connection directly to Sato. Is that his name?
Yeah.
And so I'd like to maybe try to get some feedback up his way.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's Rubik's Cube. Fuck this guy. Cool. Yeah, so what does it look like? Is there like a specific configuration for sending feedback or something like that, or?
I think it's the checkerboard pattern.
Cool.
But it's it's like 6 colors instead of
Yeah.
instead of just 2.
If it ever goes Argyle, then you know that shit's going down.
Yeah, Houndstooth is the worst, but
Yeah.
Argyle's pretty bad too.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, I think it has its own connection to the Veil, and even though Z doesn't fully understand that part of it, like he knows how to configure it to make it pass through just from the hardware side, and so he's just conducting the energy from the device straight through the.
Can it be like you do this configuration and in the Veil all this shit is happening, right? That people that can only people in the Veil can only see it or whatever, and then you slam it on the ground and it's like a pulse that goes out and tries to like fuck this guy up or something. That would be cool.
Well, since his image is already there, I almost wonder if like as he's doing the Rubik's Cube, it like forms itself in the Veil, even though it's not. So it forms like the Rubik's Cube in the Veil, and it's like this giant version of it. And then when he throws the real Rubik's Cube in the real world in the Veil, this giant like robot almost Rubik's Cube comes out and flies at Sato.
Cool. And then like goes into the TV screen and like traces the route right to his real body to fuck him up.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay, so how you feeling?
I'm feeling scared.
Cool. At least you have advantage with this. This is your bag as a pusher, right?
Yes.
Cool.
So
4 with 3 dice. Woof. Okay. Interesting.
Dang, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. -1. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So I think what happens is all of that happens, but it's going to take longer than you expected, right? Like
So I'm just sitting there like, oh, yeah, I got this.
No. Like I think
okay.
it gets thrown into the thing, it disappears into the TV, right? And I think like Seiji is like, what did you do? Right, that kind of thing, right? And I think just because they bounced their proxy all over the place, this like dragon in the net is like coming for him slow, right? And on the myth, though, what happens is I'm going to put up another picture here. So this is when you see Biotechnica special ops soldiers spring out of nowhere, and they are upon you. And they their suits are like very high tech, so that's why you couldn't detect them with UV and stuff, right? They're all jacked up. They got that technical level 12 action going on. So roll initiative, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Who would be the first to react? Probably Omen, right? And then Dover with their booster action. So Omen, what do you do? You've got wired reflexes. You're always the fastest.
Are they at the end of the dock?
I think they spring out of the water, and two of them are on the dock, like, trying to. If you're on the dock meeting with Robin, one's like on your egress route, and then one's at the end of the dock, right? Like, kind of like doing that pincer thing. I think it's what it's called. And then the other two are coming out of the woodwork by the like storage units out there, like close to where Dover is standing sentry.
Okay. I would like to engage multiple foes on like not whatever grounds.
Yeah, so you have advantage against multiple foes, right?
Yeah, whatever that class slot says.
I think that's just part of your class, isn't it?
Oh. Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me just check that.
Oh yeah, I think you're right, because I think it was a class slot and you decided to take it off or something.
Yeah, I think it just says in boosters that you can take on a certain amount.
I'm thinking number yeah, you're right. But there's also number 8, take on a group large.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Unless you weren't gonna give me disadvantage, and that's fine too.
Let me just
The normal class is just against 2 opponents, so if there are more than 2, then you need.
Yeah, and you're facing 2 and Dover's facing 2.
Okay. Then I will let my class slot lie, unless I want advantage, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, so you could get advantage with it. Right now, you're not at disadvantage taking on 2 special force peoples.
Well, I'm going to throw my sword at the one closer to me, and I want to dash to the one farther away from me for the drama.
Okay, so you're doing number 3, perform a melee attack and a range attack in the same roll?
Oh, yeah. There it is. I knew I was going to use a class slot.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Do it. How are you feeling?
It's done. Oh, I'm feeling surprised. I'm feeling alerted. I'm feeling maybe a tad bit boosted.
Okay.
I'm feeling sexy. No. What did I say? Surprised. What am I feeling? Scared? Is that no? That's not right. Powerful? No.
Probably powerful, right? You don't think so?
Yeah, I can see powerful. Respected. Yeah, we'll do powerful. I like powerful.
Sure.
Okay. Nice.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so what is your weapon damage? Roll that up.
Oh man, so many things to roll.
Yeah, I guess.
5.
Cool. Oh, look, it even does the harm bonus. Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, isn't that good? And
Yeah,
then
that's good.
both, and then so you did the sword on both of them, right?
No.
Okay.
I've realized all I use my sword for is to throw it. It's a strange replacement for a gun these days, but I threw my sword presumably to impale the one special forces dude. Special forces number 1. And then I was running to like punch or maybe do like a flying kick, who knows. Special forces number 2.
Okay, so do you want to roll the damage for the one without the sword too then?
Yeah, well, I don't know what that is.
Probably the
2d4. Keep.
Oh, are you punching them with your metal arm?
Huh?
We'll do keep the highest for 2d4 then. Cool. All right. Cool. Do you want to flavor that scene more, or are you good? Is that what we see?
Yeah,
on
of course I
screen?
want to flavor it more.
Hit me.
I want to, huh?
I said, hit me. Give me the deets.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, a soft reminder that my sword is neon yellow and has a Sonic the Hedgehog branding on the hilt. So you just see the flash of yellow stick through them. And I think that, no, that's too far. I won't say that. At the same time that the sword sticks to the guy's chest, I think Omen did like he took like 2 steps to get up to like the speedy speed, and then he did like a front flip and no, he did 2 front flips. He did a front flip to build up like some momentum or whatever, and then the second front flip was actually like a drop kick, and it smacked the other dude right on his noggin. And I think that Omen's wearing like racers usually, so I think you see the camera go slow motion where like the like rubber bottom of the racer like scrunches up, and then the like crack appears in the special forces helmet. It's like, and then it speeds up because it's all happening real fast because I got wired reflexes. Maybe his
Sick.
chin hits the dock, the board cracks.
Nice. Okay. And so the board cracks, and then we swap to Dover with the 2 people coming out of the woodwork. You can see it's almost like your eyes are like lying to you, right? Because they produce no ultraviolet signature, but they're coming out of there with your regular sight. You can see them. So what do you do?
Should I roll to attack and then narrate? That seems like a good plan.
Sure. And so on the table, I think is they just shoot you, right? If they realize that you can see them and shit, because they're all like, I think, being sneaky at the moment.
Well, I wanted to use my cyber feet, anchoring cyber feet, to like go on the side of the dock and like run over to them.
Ooh, cool. I like that.
Some matrix stuff.
Cool. And are you using a class slot as well? Did you want to use anything?
I was thinking of dealing extra harm, but
Oh.
I wanted to make sure that I could actually hit them first. Is
Sounds
that
good? Sounds good.
okay? So
Cyber
roll.
keep them good.
Mad. Got a 5.
Oh yeah, because you don't have advantage, right?
Right.
Cool. Okay, so tell me what you wanted this to look like.
I wanted to do like a matrix thing, like run on the side and then jump over them and like hit them with the.
Ooh, cool. Okay, well, yeah, so I still think that happens, and like you go in for your hit, right? And I think what happens is you do the hit and it crunches up against their armor, right? So there's like a imprint of where you've stricken them, but it doesn't actually like harm the guy, but he goes like flying back anime style, of course, right?
Cool.
But then they shoot you.
Now they're back. They can actually hit me.
One guy can shoot you. The one who's flying back is a little bit surprised.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna do what do they have here? Where are my weapons at? Heavy.
They don't have to roll to hit.
No, because your failures is what is up. So you take 4 damage minus your armor.
So I check off the armor boxes.
You just minus it every time
Okay.
by 1, yeah. So it'd be 3 damage. And then it would be, I think what it looks like is an auto pistol. So it looks like a 9mm that's like an automatic pistol, right? That like blurts out a whole bunch of bullets at you as it peppers you in the back.
Ah,
Caca. And then cool. Who else would be probably Tex next if you're an ace, right?
Yeah, I'm an ace. So I think so he turns to look at the biotech guys and goes, "Rodeo, time to go to work." And you hear the like, and the minigun spins up, and Rodeo's gonna unleash.
Was Rodeo like hanging from that one lamppost or something, or what was?
I think Rodeo's probably like probably like on the side of some ship or something near the dock, like so he could like be a little discreet.
Okay, cool.
If that's okay, or some building or something, like he's like.
Yeah, that's fine. So, are you going for the ones attacking Dover, or which one are you going for?
Are any going after Adriana?
Not
or are they just
really.
coming at us?
There's the two on either side of you where Adriana is on the dock, and then there's the two attacking Dover that were trying to sneak up, but did not. Instead, they went for the attack.
Yeah, I'll go for the ones by Dover.
Cool. So are you gonna, as the guy is like got hit by Dover and is flying, is that the one that gets machine gunned?
Yeah. The one. Yeah. All right. So I think I'm pretty pissed because I'm not a fan of these guys, and they're trying to take this girl away. So I'm pretty mad. If I'm using my thing, my item, what does that do for me?
Advantage.
Oh, cool. All right, Rodeo, get it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Oh wow, you guys
Really
are
with
rolling well.
advantage? Oof.
Yeah. 2,
All
1,
right.
2 plus 2. The tide has turned. The corporation is coming for y'all.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. I think what happens is. Ooh, I know what happens. So I think the guy's like flying and he puts his arms out like kind of like this. He's not X-carding you though. Instead, he puts up his like a shield that bounces the bullets right back at Rodeo. So what is Rodeo's damage?
Rodeo's damage is heavy, 2d6 keep highest.
Why don't you roll that? See how fucked up Rodeo gets. Oh, nice, you did 5. So minus the armor that they might have, though.
I don't know if Rodeo has armor. I have armor. I don't know how that works.
I think it would be like a tag that you would buy for them, probably.
Okay.
So probably not.
I didn't do that then. How much harm can Rodeo take?
What is it again?
He's just a drone. I don't know what. Like there wasn't like an item for a drone.
How many tags does Rodeo have?
I don't know.
Okay.
You just told me to spend 1,500 euro bucks.
Oh, right, because we were matching what JD had for his drone, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's say that it is. What level are you?
3.
3. Let's say that Rodeo can take 8 harm then.
Okay.
Yeah, that should work. Cool. So that did not work out for Rodeo.
Took half his harm. All right.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, Rodeo. No. Cool. Bina or March, both of you could act. Does anyone have a specific idea?
I would like to get Adriana out of there.
Oh, okay. So how are you going to do that?
Too. We could team up and we could actually do something, not like these other guys.
Oh, nice stab.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, at the very least, Owen is keeping them both busy since one is impaled and one just got hit by an anime fist. So
It
how
was
are
my
you?
heel.
Yeah. Or your heel. Sorry. Sorry. You should use your anime fist more. But anyway. How do you have a contingency for this then? Like when you guys were planning, if shit goes down, this is what we're gonna do, or
I don't know if we have a contingency.
No.
Of course, Team Steel and Hearts had a contingency.
Do we? Okay.
So what is it?
I don't know.
Runaway.
Yeah.
Is it
I mean
like,
that was the extent that I was thinking. That was the extent of March's planning. Like, he's gonna keep an eye out with a thermographic eye out to like see who would be like chasing them.
okay. Well, you see that it's just those four special ops people.
Yeah, but just to get somewhere hidden and
Okay.
wait this conflict out.
Wait, no, yeah, okay. Sounds good. So is it just like you guys come together and there's like, did you spend some money on like a balloon or something? Where you're just like, I don't know, it like encapsulates you with like some sort of field or something like that? Or is this like a GoldenEye situation where you have like a thing where you can jump into the ocean or something, or into the water and swim away? Or what is it? Are you just trying to like take her hand and just run? Because you'll probably run into where Dover and the bad guys are, because they kind of came at you from the land side, and then the other people tried to block you, and then Omen messed them up on the actual dock side. You could still try that, like trying to navigate through these guys, but it would definitely put both you and Adriana in more direct harm than where you are now, I think. Because Omen's dealing with those guys, and Dover's kind of taking the brunt of it along with the spider now. But yeah. If you have some idea for what you've planned, though, I'm down.
What did we plan?
Is it Metal Gear Solid where you just like put a
In the
balloon on
cardboard
her?
box?
That'd be a big airplane, but it is like the seaplane thing, right?
Maybe you have a flashback to where you bought a motorcycle.
Well, everyone has
Right at-
motorcycles, right?
right at this moment.
A sea
Right
motorcycle.
to
CD.
yeah.
Yeah.
A jet ski. We have a jet ski.
Jet ski. Yes, that is super cool.
Okay. So
A whole convoy of them.
we'll say, how much would that be? Like, I don't know, maybe like $1,000 each, though, right?
Okay, I have 1,300 left, so
Cool. So you guys will all just try to squinch onto it. Expensive.
Yeah, I almost got $3,000. I can buy jet skis for days.
Oh, okay. So do you actually buy 3, or is it 2, or everyone fitting on 1, or what's the goals?
I mean, I can def spring for 2 at least.
I do
Okay.
like the idea of everybody trying to squeeze onto one, though.
Yeah, that is pretty. Like one of those like banana boats.
Although I would
Just like,
say,
"Let's go on there."
mechanically, if somebody's doing that, you'd probably not get the advantage on that, right? Whereas if both of you are trying to escape with your own ones, then you might be helping each other, and then that would be a normal roll. Because you remember, you're both pushers, right? So normal stuff like this would be like a disadvantage. So you're trying to get advantage by helping each other.
Awesome. Yeah, then I'll spring for some extra jet skis.
Okay, cool. And does it look like just like now, or how is it cyberpunked? Are the engines like, I don't know, look like airplane engines or something on the back?
Yeah, def. I'm trying to like that cool. That was gonna look cool.
It's cool. So it just looks like a Skidoo with like big engines, basically.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Cool. Sounds good. Okay, so were these just like floating beneath the docks or something, and you guys just like whip them out, and you're like, Adriana, let's go, move out.
There's a shot where we like just jump off of the jetty, and it's like, have they lost their minds? But then it's like cut to like jet skis that are there waiting for us, kind of thing.
I like the idea of them being remotely called in.
Sure. Like the whole time, as soon as that, whatchamacallit, the billboard lit up.
Yeah,
you were
it's like,
"Oh, shit."
okay, activate that particular subroutine
Okay.
and get
Cool.
over here.
And then you guys just jump on them, and one of you grabs Adriana and hauls her on, kind of
I'll
thing.
grab Adriana.
Cool. Okay, so let's roll. Who's helping and who's rolling?
I can help much.
Okay,
Sounds
I
good.
will roll. Scared again, I guess.
Cool. And so the stakes is you might get shot by one of the special ops peoples. And if you do, I'm going to roll to see who gets shot, and Adriana's going to be in that role as well. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. Okay, so you actually get an additional benefit.
Nice.
Guess I shouldn't have talked trash about that. Oh, she could get shot, you know. Okay, so anyway.
Team stealing hearts.
All right, so why don't you tell me how this looks, because apparently it's amazing, and you get an additional benefit that you can tell me what you would like. Maybe it helps out Omen somehow or something too.
Okay.
Or something, whatever you want.
What weapon does Bina have?
I have a sword.
Oh god, okay. Because I mean, I imagine like taking some parting shots or whatever more symbolically than anything, but I guess if we get a 12, maybe one of them lands.
I don't know, I can sword back a bullet at them, kind of thing.
I have a little gun
Sure.
that I
okay.
haven't used at all.
Well, what about you shoot at them as you're jumping off and stuff like that and land a shot, and then what if Bina throws her sword and like Owen like catches it anime style, right? Like Ash of Evil Dead coming in.
Yes, totally. That's a good anime shot, right? Like, yeah,
Cool.
throw the sword off to Owen.
What is
Wow.
your sword
Yes.
branded with?
Oh, oh, it's gonna be like evocative of like vinyl and stuff, right? Like real like retro look.
Yeah, that's great. Is
A
it
vinyl sword.
CVGD?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so you've got 2 swords now, and you land a shot with a weapon. Is it a light weapon? Is it a... What did you do? Is it a main weapon or a light weapon?
It's the 2d4. It's primary.
Primary?
2d4
Okay.
keep highest.
Cool. So roll that. 2.
2.
Cool. Let's put... Which one were you aiming at? The one impaled? One that got kicked.
I'll be honest, I don't imagine March like aiming that.
Okay.
Well, so I feel like it'd just be.
Let's just roll. Okay, it's the first one. Okay. So the guy is barely hanging on. He's like swooning in the wind, apparently. Cool. Okay. Z. Do you want to do something?
Yeah, so the whole thing with the sweet Rubik's Cube is still going on. I don't have to like maintain that or anything.
No, it's going off. It's trying to. It's like you've sicked the dragon onto Seiji, right?
Awesome. Sweet cyber mecha dragon.
Yeah. Do you have the weapons as well?
I've got my sweet taser and my thief tool arm. I think this is Z's totally feeling like, okay, so the people that I probably should have gone with just left me on their jet skis. So I guess I'm gonna have to participate in this fight.
Do you want to make a roll for jumping onto one of their jet skis as they go up?
I've got a free seat, man. You're welcome to come on my jet ski.
I think the opportunity to go back to back with Omen is to.
Oh yeah, your idol, right?
Exactly.
Time to show Omen what you're worth.
Maybe Z catches the sword instead then.
Or maybe I run
You're
up.
part of Sword Club.
Sword Club, yeah. So
Honoring
he's been eyeing those swords this whole time.
Cool. All right. So, are you gonna try to finish off the guy, or go for the other one who got kicked?
I'll probably go for the other one because that's like a sweet 1-2 punch. Or
Okay, sounds good.
kick. But I'm gonna run up behind him and be like, Omen, throw that sword up. And maybe he can like toss it in the air and it spins and glints in the moonlight, and I'll like jump up. Maybe I jump and hop off of his shoulder or something, grab the sword, and then come down on the guy.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Okay, we'll see if it works.
Cool. Sounds like even maybe you're helping, which would be good because you're a pusher, right?
I'm an ace.
Oh, an ace. Okay.
Yeah, the
It's still
arms
not-
there.
This is still not your jam, though. It's
No.
help would be good.
Yes, I will be glad to help.
Cool. Okay. So, how do you feel it? Is this a dream come true or what?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling powerful in this one.
Cool.
And I think I'm going to use my double damage class slot. If that's
Oh,
cool.
cool. Yeah, totally.
Okay. So would this be a regular roll or with advantage?
With advantage now. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so you exchange damage. So roll your damage.
How much damage is a sword?
Sword
Primary?
is primary.
Okay.
Best of 2d4, which is what you're getting back as well. Ooh, 5. Damn, that guy's fucked up. Okay, and then you take 3 minus armor. So I think as you're coming down with the sword, right, he's like getting a couple shots off on you.
Okay.
And then you can describe destroying him because that definitely kills him.
Awesome. I think I want to, I see the crack that Omen's heel made, and I want to just come down like right through his helmet, right where the crack in the armor was, and just go to town on him. Or just one hit from the air, piercing. And then I probably
Cool.
like land on top of him as he falls over.
Is it very like anime where you take out the sword and like a burst of blood comes out of him and shit too, or what?
I kind of like it more that I land and like the sword goes through him into the ground a little bit, and then I kind of like use it to stand back up a little bit and then stand like a little triumphantly. This
Cool.
is probably the coolest things he's ever done. So
Awesome.
feeling pretty proud of himself.
Cool. Let's shoot back to Dover getting a little bit hurt up there. What do? Roll with the punch, huh?
Yeah, I think I'll just keep going after them, I guess.
Yeah. So do you run after the guy that's like flying? Is that what's happening?
I think I want to go take their guns first because I just got shot at. Right? So I'll go after the one close first.
Cool. Okay. And your goal is to disarm him?
Sure.
Okay. Well, so you're a booster. You can you tell me what you want the stakes to be. So like you could do a move that is like, I want to kill him with this roll, but the stakes would increase past just like one bullet or whatever, right? Being shot. Or you could be like just a disarm, and then that would be lower stakes for sure. It's up to you. You can scale it however you like. It's generally equivalent though. So if you're like, I'm gonna kill him with this blow, then I'd be like, okay, death is on the table.
I kind of want to push them off of here. I think that would be easier than knocking them out.
So like landing a heavy hit that makes them fly into the water or whatever.
Yeah, since that happened last time anyway.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Cool. Well, that guy's not gone though, but yeah, he's
right. I didn't hit him the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you're just like, maybe this direction will be good. Okay, cool. So, all right. How are you feeling?
I think I'm still mad, and I'll mark a slot to roll with advantage.
Oh, cool. Yeah, awesome. 9. Cool.
Sweet.
So let's see. You'll trade a blow then. So he thinks it probably looks like a gun kata type thing then, right? Like where he's trying to get a shot off and you're like blocking them and then you like kick him in the side and he's like, right?
Yeah.
But he gets a shot off. So he
Okay, I'm
got
about it.
he gets 4 damage minus armor in on you. And then you kick him to the location you desire, which is into the water, right?
Right.
Cool. So that guy's gone. Let me just cross that out. Bye-bye.
How does healing work?
You could... I think there could be... I haven't codified it in the rules, but I think there could be some sort of... or did I? Subdermal armor. No, there could be something that you could pay for though that would like inject
Yeah,
some
the nanite.
harm baxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, because I don't have much
Buy a
left.
hot dog you had in your pocket.
That's
I
true.
found that real quick.
Eat that hot dog.
Yep, that'll be fine. Let's see. What's a fair price for some sort of injector that keeps you going or something like that?
I think Euro is 1,800 for nanites.
$3.
Heal 2 harm per day instead of 1. Yeah, if you've got nanites, I could get you to heal like 1 harm box per round or something.
All right. Do I have money for that?
Do you?
I do. Cool. I'll just
Cool.
get nanites then.
Got them nanites. So what does it look like on screen? Does it like your wound already start like knitting together and shit, or what?
At least from the last shots, right?
Yeah,
I think those start to shrink.
cool. And that guy's just like, yeah, a little bit somewhat comical anime thing where he's just like, cool. Let's go back to Tex. Are you incensed?
I am
Robot.
I am furious.
Yeah.
So I tell Rodeo to jump down to the dock, and then I go and I climb onto the back with where the saddle is.
Yeah.
And that way, hopefully, if he shoots himself again, it'll hit me instead of him.
Nice. Sure. Okay.
And then I'm gonna unload on one of these dudes that's still standing on the dock there.
There's just one guy now. That's for
One
sure.
guy left.
Yeah, the other guy got fucked up good. Like
Yeah,
he was at 3 hit points and you dealt 10 harm. So
Yeah, it's time to fuck this guy up. So am I still at advantage because I'm using Rodeo?
yeah, sure, man.
All right.
That's pretty good. Okay, so you can do your damage. Are you spending a class slot as well?
To double it, yeah.
Damn.
Let's-
Okay.
let's,
Full disclosure: if it's the guy on the dock, he's impaled, so maybe you don't need to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I will just do some normal damage to him.
Okay, sounds good. You kill him. So how do you do that?
All right. Do I need to roll, or does he just have one hitbox left?
He's that one. Yeah.
Okay. So I go and jump on the back of Rodeo and take like manual control of the minigun, and I just unload on this dude, and then look back and see that everyone's already got to the Sea-Doos. and Rodeo and I turn and just start running down the dock towards the Sea-Doos.
Awesome. Okay. Omen. There's still one guy attacking Dover a little ways away. The fresh one who got kicked a little bit away but didn't take damage.
First, I'm going to give Z a high five.
Okay.
We probably have a handshake at this point. We've got like a cool little fighting duo handshake that we figured out. Something simple.
Yeah, with our special arms.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah, that'd be real neat. But I'm like, Z, you look real cool standing there, but I need that sword.
I'll yank it out of the guy's head, and then we get the eruption of blood, like Fraser was talking about earlier, and then I'll definitely toss it to Omen.
Perfect.
Are
I
you gonna
think,
whip the sword at the guy?
yeah, I'm gonna throw the sword.
Okay.
But I do the thing that I'm like, I like throw it and then I catch it, so it's like backwards or whatever. I don't know how you talk about swords in hands. And then I'm just gonna like lance it at him.
Nice. I like that. Pachoo! As one does. Okay. Cool. So are you using a class slot and yeah, all of that kind of stuff? How are you feeling?
I mean, for a melee fighter, I'm not very good at doing melee things.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, no, I don't think I'm gonna use a slot. Or maybe I'll use my escape a dangerous situation, so we can immediately jet, especially if this sword misses.
Okay.
Although
How many slots do you have left?
just one.
Okay. Also, didn't you sync? Like, didn't you have a class slot as an ace to sync with something?
Yeah, but I did it with my hands, my fists, and now in hindsight, that wasn't a good idea.
Okay.
I wish I would have done it with like IO or something and done cool stuff with the AI, but that's a retcon for another time.
Sure. Okay. All right. So you're not going to use a class slot. So it's just a regular roll with what you're feeling.
I think I'm feeling powerful. I'm a little jazzed up, but I'm inspired by Z's actions.
Yeah, you're gonna
by Z's hyperviolence. Where's my wheel? Where's my where are my buttons? Powerful. Bam.
Nice. Good result. Okay. So roll your damage.
Surely this person is dead.
It hasn't been hurt yet. So it seems unlikely. They are not dead. They are 3/4 dead, though. So what does that look like?
They're 3/4 of the way dead. Can we say that the sword cut him very severely across the neck and he's bleeding out?
Ooh, cool. Yeah, sure. That sounds cool. All right.
Wait, hold on. I gotta paint the anime moment.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I like fling the sword and all the sound cuts out of the audio, right, and the cinematic universe that we're in. And then like I think it's like a long shot where we see Omen throw the sword and it just slowly like tracks over and it's completely like contemporaneous, but it like finally settles on this guy and then you just hear like some like weird sound effect that's like just like a breeze or like something like whooshing by a leaf or like a bundle of leaves, and then you just see the spurt of blood and then the guy's probably like ah.
boot up from a Sega, right? It fletches around and it's like Sega.
It's that fucking when Sonic collects a golden ring. It's that song.
Ding, 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 ding. Cool. So that happens. And for the mixed result, instead of hurting you, a plot happens. So for the Sea-Doo people who are making good time, I guess, there's suddenly like something lit, like you're zooming into darkness with your Sea-Doo lights that are very poor, probably. And right in front of you, a like barge appears, and there's like lights around it and stuff like that. Actually, no, it's not a barge. It's something that like has a jetting off precipice that a lone figure that looks sinister can stand on, but a boat. Picture whatever that. Yes, a yacht. Yes, this is very Bond happening. Yeah, and this figure is illuminated, and he says, "You're all safe now, my children. and he puts out a hand and it illuminates below him with like pot lights, right? In a circle around him. So you can see, and you see this guy. Oh, it's the Reverend guy. Aaron Omaha is up in the house here. What do you do? Say such. It's the guy on TV who was like, clones are abominations.
Ah, I
It's a
see.
famous person who shouldn't be here at all. It's all very suspicious.
Interesting. I think he's a clone. He doth protest too much.
Okay. Is that what you say?
Yeah, he's got a lot of internalized like self-hate going on right now.
Right. I guess you're zooming towards him and he has like cybernetic vocalization coming through his throat and to amplify, right, so he can speak to the masses. But he says, everything you've heard about me is true. I'm the leader of Pure America. I do denounce human cloning and immigrants and foreign governments and just about anything else you can think of. It's all a front. It does two things. It lets me run fugitive pipelines along with Miss Swile, who is the real person of Robin Gracie. So I guess he just outed her name. And yeah, he says, here while remaining completely above suspicion. It also puts me in the confidence of the leaders of several other malcontents organizations. They confide in me as a kindred soul, and I use that information to make sure that the pipeline stays open and unmolested. It's not easy, but it works. And he's like, after a dramatic pause, he's like, Miss Young will be safe. Within a few days, we'll have her a new face, a new voice, and a secure place to live. It will take some adjustment, but she will be free, and she will be able to live like any other human being and not like somebody's property.
Hey man, she's a regular fucking person. You can check
Yeah, that all sounds great, except super don't believe you.
Okay, well, he is working with Gracie, I guess, who was also on the docks. Maybe she's behind. Yeah, maybe she jumped onto the Skidoo as well to get out of there with you all, right? Because she's your contact, and she's like, "It's all true. He works with me. We do this pipeline together. This is what was paid for, a new identity for Adriana, so she doesn't have to be hunted anymore."
You molest the pipeline together?
No, unmolested.
Okay.
We keep the pipeline unmolested, not molested. Very important distinction.
Adriana, what do you think?
By revealing myself, I'm trusting you a great deal. I don't reveal myself usually. Usually it's Garcia who does all the arrangements.
Yeah, again, Adriana, what do you think, though?
Oh, Adriana. Adriana thinks that if she could get a new identity and not be hunted and have you all take the brunt of this punishment, that it seems like an ideal situation. I don't want to be Adriana Francis anymore, especially if that's my father.
Well, who do you want to be then?
Whatever this new life crafts me, right? I'll be... Ooh, what's a good name? Some futuristic cyberpunk name. That's good. Clementine Magpie.
Well, we'll work on that. But...
Yeah. But yeah, for her, she's like, this is, if they can get me a new identity, that's what it's all about, right?
Hey, any chance I can also get a new identity?
Yes. You get a new identity. You get a new identity. Everybody here gets a new identity.
My new name is going to be February.
All right, not the worst.
I'm just gonna be Bina because fuck this. This is all too convenient. I don't trust any of it.
All right.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely do not trust this guy or any of this.
All right.
But
And
I
then
don't know what else to do, really.
Cool. And then we jump cut to Dover with the one final bad guy in the clutches. So what do you? This guy's almost dead. His neck is hurt and stuff, but he could probably fire a gun still.
All right, so I'll move so I don't get hit. Like I'll jump
nice. So you
onto
just let
him.
him die and just move aside and shit.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying. You're just like taunting him.
Maybe I'll jump onto one of these skidoos as they leave and use my boots to cling on.
Well, if people want to drop thousands of dollars for skidoos, sure. It's $1,000 per skidoo. How many y'all got? So far, there's 2, right? They're a good ways away on a yacht or close to a yacht.
I was just trying to think of ways to use my cyber feet.
Oh, cyber feet.
So I was going to anchor
Well,
onto the skidoo.
why don't you like kick him in the cyber feet, or kick him with your cyber feet, not in the cyber feet?
That's true. All right, I'll kick him in the cyber feet.
Yeah, with the cyber feet, right? He can have cyber feet if you want. Shot for shins, yeah. Cool. How are you feeling about this?
I think I'm feeling pretty happy
Cool.
or powerful. What do the feeling wheels say?
Joyful or powerful?
As cheerful as powerful, so yeah, I think it's more powerful.
Sure. Do it.
What? Okay.
I think you have advantage on this. Oh, 12 dice. Okay. So
I didn't even take advantage.
yeah, so okay, he's super fucked up. Tell me what you do. Whatever you want happens. And
Yeah, I
you get
think
additional bonus effects somehow.
I think I'm just gonna like kick him and get away.
Sounds good. Okay. So does his face just like explode or something, or what?
Well, I think the armor is already dented, so I can get right at him and get some of that internal bleeding, I guess.
Cool. Okay, so visually it just looks normal, but inside we know that he's like burst kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. And then
So,
you
like-
also run away. Do you start like fucking samurai running along the water with your cyber feet? Or what?
Or can I steal the gun? That seems like a good plan.
Sure. Yeah, you can grab a gun. You don't have that doesn't have to be your additional benefit. They're dead.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get the gun, and then what is the additional effect or bonus that you want out of the 12 plus?
Well, everyone else is like away, right? So I guess I just want to join them. Stay
Okay,
in
so
the party.
you're running along the water?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's what anime is for. Cool. Okay, so we only have 5 minutes, but so what do people want to do about the Adriana thing? Do you want to make a roll to see if he's trustworthy, or what?
No, I don't need to roll to see if he's trustworthy.
I'm gonna shoot him now that I have a gun.
But he's the one that could get you guys all new lives if you wanted it. But okay.
It's making me think so much about what I want, man. Like, I'm sick of like dudes like him mansplaining and patronizing me about what my life should be like.
Yeah, but if you like, Adriana needs a new identity for sure, right? Everyone's like $1 million cutting for her. So she's up for it.
Yeah. Also, I'm the one with Adriana on my skidoo, so
That's true, yeah. So what do you do?
I'm gonna make executive decision, and I mean, I would love to be able to try to assess whether this guy is completely full of shit, but I don't know.
You don't need to
how.
roll. It's part of the plot. Yes, he's
Yeah,
fine. He's definitely willing to take her and do the things.
Yeah, I guess I'm happy to like board the yacht or however.
Sure. There's
Um,
strawberries up there too, because he's rich.
Because I also want in on this whole new identity thing.
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
If Arasaka's after us,
Sure.
still.
So, final thing to take care of though, Z. What happens to the people on the other end of that signal? Does it kill them? What happens? The dragon has arrived.
I don't know that it kills Francis Young, or is that his name?
Yeah.
But I think it definitely fries the crap out of Seiji.
Arasaka.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Just like bursts out of his console, and almost like appears in the real world for a second, but it's really just all the sparks and electricity from his console and covers him in electricity.
Cool. Okay. He did. Nice. Okay, so let's abstract this to epilogues. And from the module's perspective, y'all have two choices. You can disappear forever with Adriana, like as your, form a new group or whatever and become new people and stuff like that. Or you can, watch her, and then it specifically says none of the characters will ever see her again. It is a necessary step to preserve her safety and anonymity. There can be no exceptions, at least until several of the issues surrounding human clones are resolved and the whole idea becomes more acceptable. If Adriana has become involved with one of the characters, maybe they want to go with her. So, why don't we just move to epilogues? So, let's start with Omen. What's your epilogue?
Bye, Adriana. Watch that ship sail. My life's fine. I'm going to Europe to get away from all this bullshit. I mean, that's kind of it. I think, well, for one, I get my sword back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Ripped it out of the guy before I got on my water walking shoes, because I'm walking across that water. And then I don't know, I guess we probably give like a high five to Bina, and maybe, oh yeah, if you want to come along, it's you, me, and Io. And what am I thinking? Maybe we'll give a high five to Z. Z, I don't know where you're going yet, but we'll see. And probably disappear into the underground scene and street fight my way to a ticket overseas.
Cool. Also, as a housekeeping thing, everyone makes 3,500 XP monies and 15,000 experience.
You're like, what?
And those are separated because you're not working to. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Is it working in subverting a? Maybe. Well, sure, we can count it. We'll say it's what, 1850 then? 18,500 XP, 3,500 bucks. Oh, but you were supposed to get more than 3,500, right? That was the end of the contract, plus per day, $200. Jeez, how much would that be?
I didn't keep track of the days.
Okay, well, we'll just say, let's just keep it 15,000 money, 15,000 experience. Done. Y'all rich, and you could level up a lot. Expenses, $200 a day. I don't even know. It was a long time. In real time, it was 3 months. So, yeah. Okay. So, what do we see from Z?
So I think to start off, Z wants to spend some time, probably in Night City, maybe in New York, but he wants to spend a little bit of time, like breaking kids out of shitty foster homes and putting them on the streets so they can be awesome punks with all of his money. And so, but as soon as he runs out of money, which is probably very quickly, then he's going to head to Europe and find Omen and be his agent again.
Cool.
That's like his retirement.
Cool. What about Tex?
So we see the plane pulling up into Sally's garage, and Tex walking in, and he says, "I got that thing I promised you." And he pulls out like a little box, and he goes to open it, and it has the key to an old Mustang that's in the back of her plane.
Cool. Is it like vintage?
Yeah,
Or what?
but you get that like, is he gonna propose? And then no, it's just the key to a car.
Well, for her, it might be a proposal.
Right, yeah.
Heart of flutter.
Yeah.
Cool. What about Dover?
I think Dover is gonna stay in Night City for a while and like learn how to be a punk because this is very inspirational. And then probably head back to the East Coast somehow. Maybe end up going back to New York and try to figure out where else even begin.
Sure. So unravel even more of the mystery. Cool. March.
Well, he's February now.
Oh, right.
But I think, I'm not sure entirely where he goes after like getting the new identity, but it's some big city, and he gets back to sort of his old life for a while, just sort of working solo, but he's bored, and eventually he leaves to, I think, try to find Bina wherever. I'm unclear whether did she go to Europe with Omen or.
Yeah, we'll see. Bina, what's up?
Yeah, well, so there's definitely like that sad goodbye between Bina and Adriana, where Bina's probably like, I don't know, like after today, like we can't see each other ever again, kind of like really sad goodbye. And I think she I forget the name. Who was the name of the guy who was super annoying on the blimp? It was like Colin or
like Marcel or something.
Oh, yeah, it was Marcel. And I think she like tenderly takes like that GIF pin of like when Marcel got punched in the face or whatever, and places it like shakily in Adriana's hand and like closes Adriana's fingers over it, and it's like, I don't know what's in your future, but it would mean a lot to me if you remembered like all the cool stuff we did together, and like and gives you like the Marcel GIF pin from their time on the blimp. And then she like sort of stoically tries not to cry. She like sort of turns around and says goodbye to Adriana, and then like high fives Omen and is like, let's get the fuck to Europe.
Cool. So does that change anything, March or February?
No, I think at some point he's still like, damn, working alone is not as fun as it used to be. And probably some months later heads off to Europe to
find his clubbing in Berlin. Yes.
Yes. Maybe tries to track him down first instead of just going to Europe without having any idea. But
well, I kind of even like what if Bina just tracks her, like you'll just be like, oh, I'll find you later, wink wink kind of thing, and she's the one that ends up in Europe. That could be a thing too, right? Maybe she gets relocated to Europe, and in America, of course, they're like, she's gone forever. But we'll see. We'll see where that takes us. Cool. So that is the module. Do people have time to debrief for a little bit? Yeah. Cool. Do people need a break first? Yeah. Let's give it 5 minutes. Come back at 10. Yeah. Cool.
We're streaming forever.
But
So we're streaming forever.
I thought it would be good to get people's thoughts about the module on it, and then stop the broadcast, and then we can do stars and wishes and stuff. Just because some people are really into the idea of running old modules with this, so
Oh,
it might be helpful. So March, let's contain the first round of feedback this just to like the module and the campaign and what you thought about that and stuff, and then I'll stop the broadcast. So Alex, not March, what is up? How did you like it? Any thoughts about the module itself?
Module, just in terms of overall things, can you come back to me? Actually, I still need to like
Formulate it?
cohere
Sure.
my thoughts on this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Asher?
I felt like a lot of the module stuff was kind of confusing.
Yeah. It's probably fair.
Yeah, it was kind of rushed. Like there was a lot of module stuff at the beginning and at the end, and then in the middle it was kind of, I guess, a bunch of random events or something. Yeah, but I like that clock idea, like some way to have it start and go through the module somehow, having these threads going through.
Yeah. Well, this is like an abridged finale because there's actually like 30 more pages that we could have done, and I was just like, oh, this has already been 3 months. So let's just get it wrapped up, because the other stuff wasn't that interesting as well. There was like, we skipped Colorado Springs, Denver, and Corpus Christi. So I was just like, woof, right? Could have been an entire new session, but for those stuff, but it didn't feel like it added that much to it, especially since some of the stuff in Denver literally says you can just transplant it and put it anywhere you want in the module. So I was like, okay, delete it, right? So yeah. Any other thoughts?
I did like the places, but they didn't seem to have to do with the like meta story, you know. So so it would be fun as like one shots, I think, to do these different cities.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So that did work well for Gauntlet, but maybe we should have done the opposite and like skipped the meta plot and just did these cities.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. Cool.
So, yeah.
Darren?
I like the idea of these modules a lot for any sort of like Powered by the Apocalypse story game thing. I guess OSR, whatever, you know, a game. As like the plot guideline, because away from all the traditional stuff, you don't have to do the success tests, you don't have to do like all the weird pacing things that make a 3-hour session take 6 hours. But I think the challenge with converting an old module like this to a more narrative-based, player-driven game is like trying to suss out like what's the important scene and who's the important NPC, and then like what landscape do you give the players in, and like what cues do you put in it to have them drive the plot forward themselves. Because I think that was probably my frustrations with it. Well, not really frustrated. I wasn't frustrated with it, but like my like confusions, I think maybe, was when like I didn't know like what I was supposed to be picking up on, because I knew there was a plot, so I wanted to push forward in some way, instead of just like, you know, strapping in for the railroad. So I like it. I think it just takes in a way more work, because you have to strip it down. You have to understand what's going on from like the facilitator standpoint, and then strip it down and have like it's. I mean, operating the gauntlet, maybe it could be easier if you're like, okay, what's my 731 with today? And then actually, I think there was a Fear of the Black Dragon episode to make this entirely just a recursive gauntlet feedback, where they pointed out that like what those old modules are so good for is giving you like an interesting scene or something, or like a plot idea. So I don't know what episode that was. It's a completely useless reference, but they say it at some point. And I think that the spirit of that comment, that these modules are just a really good way to be like, oh, cross-country tour. And then be like, yeah, here's like what you can do in New Orleans and Memphis, and like what we were able to get into once we finally like got onto the road trip.
Sure. Yeah. Cool. Joshua?
Yeah, I think what I enjoyed most from it was all of the like setting stuff and the details, the kind of cheesy fun pictures that you kept showing us were all awesome. I think a lot of the actual story and kind of plot details are dated, obviously, and maybe you could update some of that stuff, but I really like the idea of traveling, and I like it. I don't know how much of it was you and how much was the module on some of it, but I really like all the different places. And even in some of the ones I watched earlier, I like it seems like it gives you a lot of really good details for those individual locations and things you can do there. So it was almost like more of like a setting book than a module in my mind, as far as the pieces that I really enjoyed.
Cool. Kurt?
As a latecomer, I feel like I don't have as much to add because I didn't see the majority of the beginning of the thing. I just sort of picked up with the fight scene, which I doubt was part of the module. I definitely think these old mods, they have like a certain charm to them, where they are definitely in their like in a place, like they right. It's easy to tell when it was written. But overall, the way that you sort of like stripped away some of the minutia, I imagine, and then just got to the core of it was really good. And they always end with that like, "Hey guys, here's the plot part." There's not really like the dude showing up on the barge and everyone trying to decide, well, do we just kill this guy who's obviously just here to help us? Because it doesn't make any sense. So there's always stuff like that at the end, I find with things like that. But it was a fun game. Like I had a great time playing. So
Cool. And Lauren?
Everyone said so much intelligent stuff already. Yeah, I definitely second like this being a very good place to get setting ideas and that kind of thing. There was a lot of information to take in and absorb, and a lot of like political machinations that I just lost track of week to week. But I enjoyed that. Like, it was great when you were like, "Here's the plot twist. It's this guy," and I was like, "I don't know who the fuck this is," and I've been playing this like every week for months. So I enjoyed that a lot, and it helped play into this character who doesn't know what's going on. I think that was how my defense mechanism for getting around losing track of everything. But I think the only like like smart thing that I have to say about it is I'm really glad that we were playing with a GM who is very aware of social discourse, particularly around things like gender and like the like being sensitive towards place of like, I don't want to see the Confederate flag in this game and that kind of thing. So I think if you ran this straight, like, oh shit, you would run into all those problems of like running an old module that was written at a time when shit like this was okay to sort of like, oh, okay, but it was more like normative to put in games. And that is just like real boring to me. Like, I don't want to like reuse old modules that recycle like old social discourse about like women and stuff. Like, oh, you could flirt with Adriana and stuff, and like flirt with all the women because all the women here are just to flirt with and seduce and things like that. And yeah, anyway, so I think that I feel like if you were to run this, like being mindful of that stuff is like super important. But you did a great job with it. So yeah, I guess, but yeah, there are 2 seats.
Thanks. Yeah. I definitely, towards the beginning, you can definitely tell that I'm running it more raw. Like it's very slow, and it's when it's mostly when Darren's like, "What should we do now?" Because yeah, the book presumes a lot. Like I think it presumes that people have been playing Cyberpunk for a while. It's not like their first time, and they understand the setting very well and stuff. Because a lot of times when you got to New Orleans and stuff, they're just like, "Yeah, you know what they're gonna do now." I was like, not really. Like
you clearly haven't met Lauren and Darren before.
Yeah, like after the airship crash, they're like, yeah, they're gonna want to get to Galveston or whatever to regroup and stuff, and everyone's like, what do we do here? Right? Yeah, its idea of pacing is definitely weird, and it might make more sense if you're playing the actual system, because presumably the airship falling and the fight afterwards with Cody Moon and all that kind of stuff might have taken a long time. So then afterwards, regrouping and licking your wounds and stuff like that makes more sense, because in that system, they're not glossing over you guys healing and stuff, right? You're literally like probably rolling some dice to see if you can do it and shit. So whereas we are like, and you're at full now, next day, let's go. And then later on, I definitely tried to condense the material instead of doing it all, running it raw. The things that I glossed over, by the way, was two problematic parts. Was there is a particular sect of people that are basically a cult in Colorado Springs that wanted to literally kill Adriana when the story broke because she's a clone, and I was like, we have enough of the premise of whether people think Adriana is a person or not. So maybe let's not have a cult try to outright kill her in a creepy town. Second thing was a ninja from Arasaka is literally a honeypot in a town in Colorado Springs. Like you guys are all camping or something like that, and there's a house with a window, and she's just there in lingerie, and you're supposed to wander around and like go up there, and then she's supposed to kidnap you and use you as leverage against Arasaka and stuff. And I was like, pass. So those are the things that we glossed over, and BioSlim was going to come back and be like, Arasaka's going to betray you after you killed him, and then he literally blows up. But yeah, so those are a couple of things. Otherwise, we did every single thing, including optional missions in the module up until just this one session, where I glossed over 30 pages to get to the ending. The ending was verbatim what was going to happen, and yeah, I thought it was very funny when people were like, "Who are you again?" with the big billboard of the guy who runs Arasaka, and so it's very anime, right? We were like, "Who is this guy again?" But yeah, this is like, yeah, the module. I think, like Kurt says, it has some charm. It's definitely dated in particular aspects. At the very end, there's some literature about like, hopefully everybody learned that the clones are real people and all that kind of stuff. That was the whole point of this fucking thing, basically. So at least, you know, the guy's heart is in the right place, I guess, for the module. But there's definitely some weird problematic aspects that if you're going to run this at home, make sure you're... And also, I think what hindered me in the beginning was wanting to be surprised and playing to find out myself, because I read like 20 pages at a time and I was like, ooh, what's going to happen next, right? It was part of my own fun, but then it kind of hindered it because I was like, I really don't know. Like people would be like, what's up with Arasaka? I'm like, we'll find out next week when I read the page. So I recommend reading the whole module first, which seems like a no-brainer, but you should do that. And then condense it like I did for the last couple ones, and then I think it would be a lot better. And then finally, final words, Alex?
Yeah, so yeah, I really like the idea and I had a lot of fun. I think there did, and part of this might have been also being a latecomer. But there did seem to be sort of a fundamental tension between the Powered by the Apocalypse style, tell me how that looks, and describe this thing about the world, and the module, which seemed to have pretty much everything laid out already. And I found it I found it difficult to navigate that, I guess, just in terms of sort of trying to strike a balance between okay, is the thing I'm describing here, is that something that jives with this setting? And I'm not like super familiar with 90s cyberpunk, so that didn't necessarily come very naturally. And also just trying to balance that with sort of what, given this opportunity for world building or describing the action, what do I find personally interesting? Yeah, the cipher was that sure was a cipher. Yeah, I had a lot of fun, but definitely and I'd definitely love to see like more of this. But yeah, it was I don't really know how to get past that particular disconnect in terms of the systems.
Yeah, like it's hard to know when you have the agency to say what something is in a trad setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because, yeah, like you say, it's definitely like basically throughout the entirety of this module, they're like, you should buy Home of the Brave, the setting book, right? They're like, here's a little bit of details, like a paragraph about this place. But if you really want to know what it's like, you got to read Home of the Brave, which is like another 120-page setting book, right? So, yeah, I think that's a legit criticism. Anything else that you wanted to say about the module?
I mean, I wanted to reiterate that, like, regardless of that criticism, I still had a hell of a lot of fun. And I think, I think also a lot of that comes down to the players and the GM, of course. But yeah, that's I think that's really all I have to say.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna stop the broadcast.